changes that are about to happen that are not quite there yet as the competitions do run sort of towards their end. But yeah, for me, I don't know, as I said, Pearl has a map that definitely sees a little bit more chaos, and I think the fact that Alter Ego are still leading into this double duelist does sort of line up some expectations from me. But Komodo, all I can say is, mate, it's Friday. Let's have a great time. I love this game to cast, and I hope you all watching along on Soup are doing the exact same.
Absolutely. So starting off on the attacker side as well, Alter Ego, double duelist, you know, tends to lead in with a little bit more haste than the likes of a single, or you're running the double sentinel or double initiator in this example from NAOS. Primarily a bit of a B lean, but I love the aggression that NAOS are taking over towards A main. So there should be a lot of information for both teams at the moment for this B split.
Yeah, already having a quick look. Straight in there will be Ray 4C. Does get caught on the trip, and that's going to be Jar taking him down. Nakia able to afford himself a quick trade, but Jar pushing forward does actually find the spike inside the Nebula too. Gotten gets the trade, and they've lost in a whole lot of position. Look at Jar again, Komodo. Still finding another, so unfortunately forgotten. He's been forgotten back in Link, as he's now having to just try and walk around. But with those stars down, it's going to be so tricky to recover this spike.
Yeah, absolutely. All three players over towards Long, however, and with only one star to his name, that spike is in a little bit of problematic territory. Do note, just as he's going to walk into this one, I expect him to pretty much be obliterated in this one. He will manage to find one. 4K for Jar. And this is, Mitch, something that we're seeing with this new look of NAOS. Ever since the departure of Papi, they've actually been a lot more confident in their early game shenanigans and exploration around the map than they were previously. So I feel like they're finding their own momentum as a team. They're leaning into their strengths, not so much as leaning into their opponent's weaknesses that we used to see NAOS do.
Yeah, and look at when it's a thing of where, you know, you can rely on Papi Chulo to win basically every single 1v3 clutch, you know. When you lose that, you kind of need to take your early advantages, don't you?
No, absolutely. It is a little bit of my question mark on this roster still with Eman when he's on the smokes. But it's also then, like, where do you place Jar as well? So they switch depending on the maps. It'll come with the territory of more games, more practice, more comfort, right?
Of course, yeah, exactly. I'm just struggling to see, you know, Jar off the Cypher. Like, he was so strong on that at Ascension, but that's the whole thing about this game, right? You've got to take risks. You've got to change your roles around a little bit here and there. So for this round, just a pretty simple sort of cut and dry one. Ray 4C is going to be able to pick up that Bucky, but let's see if he can do anything with it.
Yeah, well, no plant in the pistol either for Alter Ego, you got to remember. So it is just group up together as numbers and look for any real damage to make that bonus round better.
Yeah. Speaking into art now, Moja does actually manage to use that relay bolt very nicely. It's going to be a nice little 4K lineup for him. Yeah, maybe. Look at this point in time. Chud going to look to walk into his crosshair. Doesn't quite spot him, but now as he slides on in, he gets denied. Not quite. Second round ace will be denied. Eman finds that frag, but look, that's going to be a good little confidence booster there for Moja, right?
Free gun, by the way, with that classic. A little bit unfortunate. It would have been cool. You know, neon abuser, I might say, running around and sliding on up. But no, very well done at the end there to kind of mitigate any real damage coming to their bodies in this round. And now it will switch over to see what this gun round does look like for Alter Ego, if they're going to be able to find some success on this attacking side. Because, I mean, really for so far in this small set of rounds that they have played on Pearl, their attacking side was better against the likes of Disguise, against the likes of Boom. So I'm wanting and hoping to see a little bit more from them on this side comparing to when they do switch.
Yep. So Ray 4C just trying to take point here, having a little bit of a look, but look at how much control that NAOS already have placed around this, you know, letting Moja run all the way up towards Long. He's already got some info, should actually find the shot. Doesn't quite connect, but that's information onto the Outlaw. They burned the Owl drone, so he can happily sort of chill. He's actually looking to even recontest here onto it. I mean, he knows he's there, but...
The thing is, he's only seeing the Sova with no extra utility and no real stars down towards B long. So it does give you a sense that it is a fake, letting them explode before the trap. You can already see the Shavi's rotating over towards the safe side now.
Next, he's got the info now, and it's going to be Ray 4C. What do you even do there? That's the thing about this Neon, right? It's so hard to control the tracing and the tracking. Chud's going to get the plant. They're going to have to go for this retake.
Yeah, we just saw Forsaken have a fiesta on this agent recently yesterday, so it's cool to see what the Moja and Ray 4C are going to be able to do, specifically Moja at the moment leading in with Eman.
Yeah, well done. Ray 4C still holding on. Valden finding another on the flank. Now it's going to be just eyes on Moja, who's taken very, very low, so he actually goes down with the judge from a distance there. Nakia will clean up position. I did like where Valden was sitting there. He actually rotated through mid quite late into Art, so the position was great. I didn't really see a position where Alter Ego were going to lose that one. So nicely done. A great response to the bonus. Now, this is the business round of the game.
Yeah, and one of the glowing things for me in the current rendition of Valorant with all these changes and depth that we've seen over the tenure of its game now is how early are teams adapting to what their opponents are throwing at them, right? It really is showing us the difference from our tier 1 versus tier 2 teams globally. So that's what I'm kind of keeping a bit of an eye on as well, Mitch, in this series. How early are we seeing NAOS adapt towards AE's aggression and fake throwing around the map, vice versa? What are we seeing in this round from NAOS now that they face a bit of a rush early?
Biggest issue in our region, isn't it, Komodo? The lack of adaptation, but I must wait, you know, much less so in C as a wider. So yeah, you hope they've gone for a little prod out towards long, but yeah, I don't know. They haven't really found a whole lot, and it looks like they might slip back as Chud now spots Xavi. So they at least know that there's been a bit of a walkout into a main, and that's a great shot from Xavi. Well done, managing to find that first one. Yeah.
And now they refresh Nebulas over at this B side as well. You still got that little Cypher utility around the site for them to walk straight in towards that one. And that's just too easy for Jar at the end of the day. Knows that Ray 4C has slid in towards the back hall, but they got to get this spike retrieved in this 2 versus 5.
Rotate already finding it in, and a little bit of utility placement from Nexi. They've done so well to find that. Gotten gets a couple. But he's quickly taken down by Nexi as well. I think just the fact that NAOS was so quick on that rotation, they find the information they main, they're happy to just send everyone packing over towards B and just completely shut out the side of Alter Ego there.
Yeah, it comes down to that 1 versus 1 over at A-Long really doesn't end. If Xavi loses that frag and Chud can get the neural theft off, the round probably does look kind of different, right? You won't see a quick push back in towards B-Long from Alter Ego. You might see them even rein back a little bit. Will be a different take to this round, however, that they do still technically have the neural theft available now and the kill contract, but you're really incentivized to use it when you're on a bit of an eco with Sheriffs and a Bucky. I think probably not.
Yeah. Well, Ray 4C is going to see what he can find. He's already, yeah, you know, into bloody almost Link, like...
He's in their spawn, essentially, at this point.
Yeah. But that's the thing, right? It's that adaptation. Like, how are we going to react to this? Eman's already got the call. He's going to rotate back around to defender-sided spawn. So he's happy to just sort of let Ray 4C that space. And ultimately now it looks like they're going to find their way onto B at Link. But yeah, they're set up so far down long. Like, now it's just waiting to them to sort of fall into their trap right now.
It'd be very interesting if they can establish a plan to the 5 versus 5 and get a kill or two. That would definitely make them use the Cosmic Divide in my mind, and maybe even that Neural Theft kill contract for later on to pull Alpha Diffuser. This is actually a very strange situation that Alter Ego might be able to find success in.
Yeah, Xavi is. He's having to rotate all the way around. Fully aware of sort of where the post plant's set up, and should, you know, his position might be really hard to overwhelm. So Eman's going to be the first one to take point here. Now we're going to see the high gear and the fast lane pop on in. So they are going to try and get a little bit of this stranglehold here, but gotten. That's the alert there, picked up from Xavi, and now they're actually going to tap on. Finds one, the Nova Pulse comes through, but it's no grab well, so they might actually not be able to take him off. Nexi could just hold the full defuse. And in the end, despite the fact that AE clear house, they walk away with no round.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they juggled over the defuse at the point in time, didn't they? Because the Nova Pulse actually was the one that went down on towards the spike. I didn't see if Gotten did have Gravwell available. I saw one over in the Link when the Cosmic Divide was used, but that was Jar's Divide. Recognizing that it's planted over towards Link instead, that they have the 0 point ping 2 players over towards Link as well, right? Sova and Neon, I believe, at that point in time were pinged on out, so you gotta wait those 8 seconds. Really, really nicely done from NAOS for that bit of a recovery, but I did like the idea from Alter Ego. It wasn't a bad idea.
Ideas are good in theory, Komodo, but they have to be put to execution as well. So we see a bit of a change. Chud finds a neural theft as well to try and get some extra space from it. So now they can kind of adapt on that rotation. Nakia is going to be able to throw out that kill contract, but he has to connect. He does pop a double tap, so at least he'll be able to look over. Great sharp shot, gets the shield back. And now it's going to be even further spacing that they can find. That's going to be the spike looking to be planted from Valden in just a second. Ray 4C, you can hear the rotation start to come through, but it's going to be a quick one, Komodo. I don't even think we'll have the chance. Xavi does manage to get at least one back, but now it's going to be such a tough retake in this 2-on-4. Do they even want to go for it? They're close.
Hunter's Fury as well, if Valden can escape from the site, but he is locked in at the moment. We say see you later to Xavi, and now it is all on towards Nexi. Cannot get it done. That is a lot cleaner when AE have the guns.
Nice and easy, steezy. That's a great opening pick there from Chud. To be able to find the control early as the Cypher is always a bit of a red hot one, right, I suppose. But on the attacker side, it does make it a little bit more, different, that you're not relying on those trips as heavily. So, well done. Alter Ego still in it to win it here. As you sort of alluded to, their attacker side was a little bit stronger originally from the small sample size we have. So, hoping that they really lean into these next few rounds.
The biggest thing for me as well is that Chud finding that kill didn't completely change the idea of what AE wanted to do. They still wanted to go into the A site. The prize was still using that kill contract there to get Eman. They do so successfully, and the economy was looking a little bit fickle now for now. So they themselves are finding themselves on a little lesser purchase. Some Stingers, some Sheriffs, Nexi with the classic. Needs our drone as well. That will spot out Jar, so we'll have to be a little bit careful with how he navigates around the site.
Watch it, hide it.
Alrighty, good opening shot there from Jar, able to at least find one. Nakia, though, quick with the trade. It's been well found, though, by Valden as well, keeping that advantage over the side of Alter Ego. But now they're actually happy to rotate. Obviously, Chud again has got that information, a little bit of a lurk out towards A, and now it's trying to capitalize. They're just going to be running straight through there. They gather the information straight away, and that means Eman can actually rotate around. Still has the Null Command, still has the Nightfall, so they've got stuff to work with, but now they're going to get caught by this trip, and yeah, that's going to be information given already.
Well, they've pilfered a couple of guns. I think that kind of gives you maybe a little bit of a crack that you want to try and achieve this round. 63 HP on Valden. Does have the Hunter's Fury, but if you do decide to use any of your ults as now, I mean, towards the direct middle of the site, you would be pinging out some of these players on the Nightfall. Null Command would completely remove their abilities, but they're opting for the contact play instead.
Will they find anything at all? It's just that thing. Lack some time. They are going in with the buddy system. Nebula now popped to give some additional space over to Alter Ego, but Zavi has to clear that angle hard out, and he won't be able to. Gotten finds him, and now Eman completely solo. Does rotate through the flowers, but is going to be punished by Chud. So the proactivity from Alter Ego in these last couple positive, because that should now be very set to the economy to a degree. This is the final buy that NAOS are going to have for a little bit, and then they're going to have to start thinking about how they sort of save up and refocus.
Yeah, swing round in this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you manage to win this one as Alter Ego, you break the economy of NAOS, you look towards to topple them over on the scoreboard, and you make something of a really good half on that attacker's side if you keep on going. Withholding this Hunter's Fury for a stage where they need it as well is a extra little bonus for them going forward. Back towards the old faithful A push at the moment for NAOS. And nothing for Alter Ego over at the Bravo side of the map as well. So for them at the moment, they can look to just sit pretty. They can allow NAOS to spread their wings and go for a little bit of a look around the map and potentially even waltz in towards a couple of members together.
Yeah. They can find as some opening exchange and damage will occur, but they're going to be chilling for just a second. Hold it back, fall away, have a little bit of a prod around further. And again, you know,
but
now
look what's happening over at B.
They need to capitalize. Exactly. They've walked all the way up this time. They've been a bit more comfy.
I'm looking towards what Xavi and what Eman are going to do. Actually, it's just going to be the dry peek out from Xavi. And yes, you drop in an Null Command. But what does it do? It stalls them through the utility. 50 seconds to go. Alter Ego do not have to do anything. But will it be capitulation? Waiting too long. Next, good for one.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it's that bit of a stranglehold, right? It's really onto NAOS to see if they can make a mistake, because that neural theft, if they peek onto it, it's going to get all of that rotation around, and now nice and quickly, it's going to be Ray 4C finding him, so that's already some control being taken back. Moja, eyes on him now, does have the high gear. Oh, he can pop down. Ja finds Valden now towards the corner of the site. Chud is going to be caught by that relay bolt, but still finds the shot. Somehow connects, somehow still alive. Moja inside the 1v3 Komodo. He's found two. Now taps onto the defuse, but I don't think he's going to know where Ray 4C is, and he doesn't quite connect. So Ray 4C, Neon versus Neon, the denier of the clutch, and Alter Ego. They find 4, and they also reset that economy.
Yeah, it could be the straw that breaks the camel's back in this half. It could peel the way into an 8-4 if Alter Ego are allowed to continue this trajectory. It gets close in the middle of this round as well. Ray 4C getting that kill onto Eman, a really pivotal one for him to take the space and peek over towards Art in case there's any little late alert coming on through. Securing all that information with the neural theft, not really yielding anything for NAOS either, is it? So they'll have a bit of extra time to have a conversation.
Good time to take it now. Not looking to let anything sort of further get out. Alter Ego have had a nice little resurgence since 4-1. 3 rounds now, back to back to back. And yeah, resetting that economy, as we mentioned. You know, Pilski loves to say it, a swing round. a little bit more awkward for now. So having the conversation now and trying to iron out any kinks is the... yeah, man, on the side of Alter Ego, like, Should has been so impressive, just sort of establishing those opening positions and taking that control, putting NAOS into a little bit of a spin.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Amic's always going to be a little bit vocal in towards the server. He's got a great head on his shoulders to figure out information nice and early. Great addition alongside our mate Stackman Do there.
Yes, indeedy. A little bit of Aussie pride over in the Philippines. I'd love to see it.
But now, when the dust does settle 4-4, we're talking about the time for Alter Ego to extend a bit of a lead, right? Back on towards the pistols are now still Xavi holding on to this Nightfall. I do wonder how long he is going to hold that for. Likewise, a Vel, I guess one might say.
Dodges straight around it. Great shot in the end back from Xavi, but obviously Valden's found some shots. Now Eman has to try and find something. Doesn't get a great little underarm, but doesn't quite connect on that. He hit Valden. Might have been around to start to get concerned about, but the flank was there from Chud anyway, so irrespective from Alter Ego, where they do lose a few, just to an eco short. But they still manage to keep some level of consistency here, and the money's just looking good.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of damage, but ultimately it doesn't really tickle the economy, does it? So it is the pathway for Alter Ego to still build up that bank. You got the kill command that's back, or kill contract back on command. This is going to be a really important round for both teams. Number one, Alter Ego to extend that lead. Number two, for NAOS to keep it competitive, keep it close. Again, taking over this A main space. No deep push down B long, though, so it is a little bit more leaning towards the alpha side of the map. And that's exactly where Alter Ego are setting for a bit of a split if they do want. See if you can pick up Eman in this kill contract again. See if you can get somebody else. Actually using the Hunter's Fury this time, Mitch.
They use the undercut there as well to try and find something, but doesn't quite line up. So now, Xavi trying to find some openings here, but they ultimately do get the information. They do get the scan. So once again, mate, and now we're going to see Alter Ego try to posture back towards B with a little bit of a lurk into Link from Gotten.
I'm only seeing one star available at the moment for Jar. He's got one, of course, on the floor to stave off any B aggression, and the second one to be utilized too. Kill contract going awry, but that's where the rotations do start to come through for now.
Jar's been a bit of a demon defending this B site, but they're actually going to give it up this time around. Somehow, Ray4C finding one with the shorty there, and Nakia does manage to goes down up to the down as well. And again, it's Ray4C who is just over towards this B position, all left onto Xavi. Does have the Nightfall, but is it even worth looking at this point in time? The out. Yeah, so it is going to be a little bit of an awkward line, but they're just so nicely tucked in. Great shot onto Ray4C, gets dinked up in the process, so he's just going to have to get out of there. The 1v4, a little bit too much to handle, and he will be actually lucky to live on, even if he can, because Gotten's already on the hunt for him. But another... That's 5 in a row now, Komodo, onto the tail end of this half. But you did mention, as we said, that the side has been the attacker's side. Hopefully, if they get this establishment, how are they going to look? How are they going to gather that onto the defender's side?
Yeah, I mean, he was caught in 4K at the end there, Xavi. That camera looking straight towards any heaven and main push out, so you know that you're not going to be able to challenge anything there. I also saw in the mix Eman accidentally team flashing. If that didn't happen, would they have been able to find a couple of extra kills to get in before that spike was planted? Maybe. You never really know. What is set in stone, however, is the great successive rounds Alter Ego have found for the movement to go their way, right? They'll continue to just ride on the back of this train. They have a half buy presented for now to justify getting a full buy in the next round as well. Whether or not we see something fast from Moja, I mean, we've seen some A pushes, we've seen some B long pushes as well. They've been toing and froing between them, but we haven't actually seen a challenge yet because more often than not, Alter Ego haven't overextended. And that might actually happen this time if they do decide to stick in the fight.
Saying that the early round proactivity has been lacking, but at the exact same time, you're exactly right. You know, sometimes we're seeing Alter Ego over the opportunities up. But look at Xavi. There you go. That's exactly what we were just talking about. It's that one weapon save over in the previous 2 picks.
And more information into mid with the Prowler. Still has the Haunt available to see if they go a little bit deeper anywhere else. But I'm looking, importantly, at Nexi being in the right spot at the right time as well. If you continue in towards this A side, you do have to contend with the Trapwire, with the camera. You got a Star available as well to bail him out on that left side towards Church. And I'm kind of just waiting to see, really, for Alter Ego, how do you get back in towards this round when you've got no smokes? You've got Ray 4C with fast lanes for sure, but nothing else really, hey.
Yeah. He's not even going to overextend either. Happy to just sort of sit and cubby, and now he actually falls away. The Nightfall is going to try and catch... And, you know, this is the thing about that Neon, right? Can get out of dodge so quickly. Didn't want to look to clear. Now he's going to take a little bit of extra further control. Overdrive's going to be popped, and now that's where he starts to have a little bit of a hunt, a little bit of a look here. Hesitant now, sir. Now trying to gather it. Let's get a little bit of info off the back of that one. It's Overdrive versus Overdrive. Ray 4C does find another. Now he's looking for more, but Ja hits the shot back. Next he gets one more. Now it's on versus 3. Does try to push through. It's real theft here. Does get caught on the line, and the fragment. So at least we do see a late response. He gets something done, and it leaves him an opportunity to tie up the half 6-6.
Yeah, an opportunity will be there, winning it out on Thrifty as well, where priority on the lifting was one that gun that was saved, right? Wasn't it? Xavi in mid doing a sensational amount of work in the early stages, even assisting with some extra information there. It does peel away to the A site at the end in towards the Cypher utility that Nexi doesn't overplay his hand as well. Uses the utility to get a little bit of stalling in there, falling back together as a team. Cosmic Divide going in as well from Jar. Good layering of utility on the defensive side to still keep things competitive going into the last round of the half now. Nexi is 1 away from the Neural Theft, and MR 2 away from the Null Command if they can try to force that one out. Although, with how Alter Ego have been going, as if they went for the B long orb to try and get gotten the extra point.
But look at this. Again, you know, a little bit of a rotation out, not having that established control. Just hold on to that line as best as Bowden, though. It's a little bit of to bring out the operator in that final round. Nexi sort of spotting, not quite baiting out that shot, though. It may connect if he does go for an additional one, but with all that utility going out, it just forces them in. Jar does actually catch Ray 4C. Working out for them just yet. Nexi's positioning super powerful. Gets 1 and a second, and that should very well be the final round here. Bowden not exactly with the right weapon to do it. Now that Neural Theft will catch the information, he does at least manage to fall away, but it is certainly almost certain Xavi's hands to... And Komodo, NAOS, a little bit of a resurgence there, so they do well to iron out any kinks and close out the half strong.
Yeah, not bad from him at the end of that one, isn't it? So they'll have a little bit of time in the half-time break to recollect their thoughts.
They obviously did find their way back a little bit nicely too. So it's a nice and even half and giving it exactly what this series deserves so far.
Oh, 100%. Now we do see a little bit of a shift where for Alter Ego, we haven't had much weight on their defensive side be prevalent on this map of Pearl in history. So do we see the adjustments find some reward, or do now just continue the extend in towards it here like they have in towards Link, because they're pretty darn deep 30 seconds into the round.
Okay. Moja will get caught, but he's just going to run straight through that trip. Doesn't give a damn. Now the spike likely to start being planted now. Evan will at least do his best, and this time, unfortunately, one of a bit of an awkward one, but hang on, Nakia is able to fight back for a short while. Hang on, I just completely lost absolutely everything. I was not expecting that from Nakia at all.
That got to 1v1. That's how quick that happened. And you think NAOS in the kill feed got like 4 kills immediately, and then Alter Ego just immediately answer back in the confusion. It is extremely hard to track, and we've got the God view here, Mitch. We see it all.
4C missing those shots. He's been super sharp otherwise. And then almost seeing it brought back by Nakia. Chaotic round, but now it's at least winning the pistol. That's another one for them now. So hopefully that'll mean some stability into these next few rounds.
Gotta go.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. No plants, rather, for Alter Ego in the chaos there. A lot of kills, though, and they will go for a bit of a lighter buy up on Ray 4C, who does get clotheslined immediately.
Now such is Neon, right? Sometimes you slide around the shot.
Well, now you kind of just expect this round to potentially go to its natural conclusion and the pistols lose it.
Could always be the way. He's taking it nice and slow, having a little bit of a spot in here. Hit, and he will. That's another frag. Down on in, a third secured. Nakia does find one back, and he's looking for more. We'll get a second. They can't replenish the double tap. Xavi will take him down. And now still got to be happy with that. 8 rounds secured, 3 alive. The bonus will be half decent.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, again, you know, no real opportunity for Alter Ego to gather too much in that round, but NAOS do give them enough that Nakia can get the kill contract. So I think going in towards bonus round on the defensive side, if you want to shift into a bit of a retake scenario, that can be a key piece of utility to invest in the situation. Whether or not he'd want to use it earlier on just to get a pick, I mean, it is a bonus round, right? You kind of want to use it maybe as an escape strategy later on.
Go, go, go!
Okay, information dive. We do see Ray 4C push forward. Does manage to secure the orb there, so he's completely solo in this position. It did get the mark, obviously, off the back of that horn. So Ray 4C spots, gets a little bit of the info, and he actually chooses to fall away here. So wise for now. Doesn't want to overextend and stays welcome.
It's just good time buying for Alter Ego at the moment. The longer that clock ticks away, the better it is for them, for Nakia to use that kill contract in a bit of a pinch, in a bit of a sticky position.
Cage triggered.
They've got that cage covered off as well by the ping on it and the smoke. You can see that from the rotation of Valden to just spot it on out through the deeper link push. So there's a good amount of information that Alter Ego have already found in this round, setting up their stars towards the A side as well. So they kind of already are figuring out what NAOS are doing on this round, where they're wanting to end up. And it won't be too long before we see essentially Nakia come on over. And I would even expect to use that kill contract.
30 seconds left. I'm out of here. We're good.
Definitely will be wise to try and grab one for the retake, because I think the rest of them are just going to want to sit back. Ray 4C actually does find one. So does Valden through the cyber cage. So they've had a nice defensive start, but there's that kill contract, as you mentioned. Nexi is going to be found. Jar actually holding the spike, does get taken down as well. Nexi somehow wins the 1v1, but now with that spike being down, they just can't do anything, right? You know, with Jar going down, that's basically round closed and secured. Nexi does get some further damage, so that's all they can really sort of hope for at this point in time. And I think maybe they've given up a little bit too much here, trying to find that additional couple of kills, but the impact by finding Jar just, yeah, does great things for Alter Ego.
Yes.
Yeah, these are the sort of situations as well that if they do get a little bit more sticky and you didn't get a couple of extra kills and extra credits in the previous round, the loss bonus wouldn't carry you this far, right?
Yeah.
3 light shields coming into it. You've got a judge in the mix because Ray 4C is one away from the overdrive. He's been loving the shotgun. I mean, we saw it when he is playing Raze, you know, as his namestay agent too. So I'm not really surprised that he's continuing in a meta that is very neon abusive, and a judge goes hand in hand with the speed and slide.
Trying to find so much info early, and he does this time. Calls the ping, gets the info, and that's just where they capitalize here. Now, off the null command, trying to find that further info. Sliding in towards the side, Savvy finds one. Nakia, though, does really, really well. Takes that 1.5 so far. Emma and that kill command, null command rather, want to be popped, held, jump, trying to pick up something, but look at Valden's timing. Excellent stuff. Now Nexi on this flank, will be able to find the timing. Drops got him, but he's 11 HP, and with Eman going down, oh man, it's just all falling apart here on this offense for now. So I thought it was going so well, but then Valden shows up to just completely upset the party.
I mean, are you really surviving a minute with 11 HP? I kind of think you might be, just given by the economy state of Alter Ego only surviving with 1 player in the last round. That's one of the downsides here of trying to rush A into a site where there's already 3 defenders as well, and there's a little bit of a gap in the cage that, you know, Chud tries to play around, tries to spot the information from.
30 seconds
unfortunate.
left.
Great shots to come on out from Nakia. You cannot ignore the fact that he manages to find 2, downing Eman in the process as well, all buying time for when the nebulas fade and Valden can come up to clean up. Just really good team play for Alter Ego, and they'll set themselves up for, again, another equalization in the server, but also in a really strong moment where you've got a lot of members, 1 away from gathering these powerful ultimates. You're essentially pushing your opponents into a half-buy single gun at best scenario, right? So if you're retaining those ults for when the full gun round is back, we could technically see Alter Ego double down, triple down on the round count now.
Yeah, definitely. Always such interesting times to see rounds like that. Hey, you know, 40 seconds of just completely sitting still. It doesn't exactly lean into Valorant, but it does happen from time to time. So let's see if Nexi can do anything with this saved Vandal, or will it just be another round going the way of Alter Ego?
I wouldn't be surprised if they get any information on the back of, you know, tags, darts, 0 point, etc. that Mojo rips the overdrive as well, or even maybe he rips it from the very beginning to try and get one kill. Nexi is quite close towards the neural theft as well. You hear the overdrive, so they are looking for an early kill.
Gonna have to try and get in there as fast as possible, and unfortunately for Mojo, Ray 4C does take him. It was that same weapon of the Vandal, and Gotten does take a lot of damage from Nexi in the process, but this is the awkward thing now, right? You know, that weapon, that Vandal dropped inside Link, and good shots and should. So 2 members going straight down, Nakia to close. So, like, again, you understand what NAOS are trying to do there, trying to establish, but it's just so quickly punished, and Alter Ego have been adapting fantastically to these aggressive plays.
Well, the biggest thing is these 2 fast-paced rounds have been met with Alter Ego having majority of their force at the right spot. You know, so it's a little bit of an unfortunate position that NAOS are trying to get their runners on in towards these stacked sites. And they'll have a bit of a timeout to navigate what they want to do in these next couple as well, because this is the moment in time, right, that I was just talking about. It can triple down in these round counts. It'll turn into a 4 conversion if Alter Ego find it, and then maybe even 5 when you consider it'll have to be another light buy on the back of this gun round that Amex is really going to drill into the guys what needs to happen in this sort of round. You've been left to your own devices since the start of the half when I had that halftime talk with yous. Things haven't been working, so let's figure it out now.
Well, it's a basic repeat of sort of what we saw. You know, it was a 4-1 start for NAOS. They did, you know, really, really well there to open up the bank account nicely. And then again, AE started to react very nicely. And then we've seen a little bit of a similar shift, I suppose. You know, NAOS pick up the last 2 rounds at the very end. It was after a tactical timeout, so maybe they had a good chat to iron out the kinks, but then they win the pistols once more. So despite winning both pistols and both counter rounds as well into the second, they're still down 9-8. Yep. So that's a big telltale to NAOS in this position.
And that's the strength of these Alter Ego rifle rounds at the moment, but also the fact that these rounds have gotten really close where you are investing lesser weaponry in these gun rounds. Light shields are in the mix, judges are in there. I add Judge in there, but technically we've seen a lot of damage from them anyway because how Ray 4C has been sliding around with it. I don't see a world in which Mojo's doing the same. I mean, it really is just a Ray 4C comfortability thing.
That's right. And I think that's, you know, one of the biggest things about this current patch, right? And the current meta is that if you're not leaning into the slidey, crazy, all up in your face neon, it doesn't quite work the same. Yeah, exactly right. You know, we saw that obviously from Sinprisa. It was like, I remember John Olsen fighting up against, you know, the neon on the other side, and it was just too hard for him, right? You know, when
and eventually Famous.
That's right.
Adapting
exactly
as well. Know? Never stretches outside of the jet rays, and then it's hello. He's doing it.
Yeah. I think just the way Danby was able to get up in everyone's face so hard, it's just so hard to face up against. And you know, Ray 4C is doing very similar things here, and it's going to be no difference again because of Komodo. There it is. Oh. Another frag straight off the rip. Relay bolt to defend. He's 70 HP, but like happy days, right?
Yeah, and he's got overdrive if he needs it as well, if he wants to go in again. But I don't think you necessarily need to give up anything extra here. You've been spotted out by the camera over at the A site. You still do have Valden over there with Dart readily available if the Flood does go into the site, because for now, so they can't rotate. 20 seconds to go. It does end over at A here.
Should. Not exactly with the weapon to do it, but he's already been holding quite nicely from the cutout. They are going to be able to get that spike planted. Ray 4C starts to make his way in. Overdrive popped, overdrive burned, and it's just looking a little awkward here, but now they can start to pick up the pace. As he goes out, gives them a little bit of extra space. Nakia finds Nexi. Now Eman trying to hold on from Art as well. Will be punished the exact same. Double tap replenish, and Gotten gets it as well. All onto Jahia. 1 versus 4, and he can't even pop the double tap. Nakia, massive impact in that round, but once again, it all starts from that little blue-haired Filipino agent that pops their way in to main and gets the opening couple of kills just behind the door. Like, I don't know, man. It's just so hard to deal with.
It's good recognition at the end there from Nakia as well. When you've got that double tap shield activated, that you're going to be the one to lead the charge. You're going to be the mountain that you can take a couple of punches from extra because of that shield, right?
Yeah.
Just getting both of those kills over towards Art, over towards main. Really nicely done, leading out on the kill department. 21 kills already in the server, leading by example.
I was about to touch on that, right? You know, I feel like the eyes have been on, like, Ray 4C's got a couple of really good kills. Chud, Valden. Nakia's kills, you haven't really seen them. They've just kind of been happening, and he's gotten so many of them.
Where are you?
Now it is this lesser equipped gun round again. Now a single Guardian, a Stinger in there for Moja. No overdrive though, and they are only with 2 at this B site where they're trying to rush in right now, so they're trying to send it. And okay, that's an upgrade.
Nakia though, able to get 2 somehow. Oh my god! Sharp shots on the Vandal, looking to get another. Nexi and Jar are able to find it back, however. And that is going to be the neural theft popped for Nexi. Recovers a Phantom. Ray4C is going to let it ping. Cosmic Divide goes down. You're exactly right. And that's going to hold them back completely because that spike is dropped Komodo. Do they try fight this though, Alter Ego? Or do they wait? You know, they've got the weapons to do it. It's going to be planted now. It's going to be that fight through now. Ray4C actually able to fight it. Moja not able to do the damage. No, somehow. What? How's this round turned the way it has now? Jar, stuck in Link. Has to look around, has to try and fight it. They do tap. They just hold, waiting for Jar to try and make a mistake. He's gone around the right way. He lines them up. And it's Jar somehow clinching to deal life there in the 1v2 clutch for the 3K. And I think that single heroic play may have kept NAOS into this game.
Potentially so. I mean, I'm looking at that Stinger, watching the right location, and as soon as Ray4C gets in towards it for that Link duel, I don't know how he managed to even sneak into there. But for Jar, on the controller role, right, where Papi was so good at getting these clutch plays in once upon a time, Jar steps into this role, and he does bring it on back. A little bit of emulating his old comrade. Nicely done. He forced out a timeout from Alter Ego, right? They've found all that momentum, gathering their rounds, looking to close this map down. One goes back towards NAOS, and it's an immediate call. Okay, we're stopping their momentum here. We're having a chat together. We need to make sure that we're not giving an opportunity back over towards them straight up.
Exactly what I was about to say. You know, this is the first timeout that's come out for Alter Ego, right? You know, it all comes off the back of one round with a little bit of miscommunication. You know, I thought it was sort of falling away the way of NAOS when they did manage to sort of fail to lose that control. I was for sure that they were going to get it, but ultimately, again, they had their backs looking the wrong way, and Jart was able to pick that one up. So again, it's a hero individualistic play that gets them forward, but I like that from Alter Ego, that they just take the timeout now, talk it out, and focus again into the next couple of rounds.
Yeah, well, certainly is close. I mean, we'll talk about the scenario, right, with these top 4 teams in this stage 3 that we're expecting some close maps. You know, we put our hat in the ring thinking that this is going to get to map 3 split. So far, so good. We're on that pathway. There is a strongie, though, here, Mitch. Alter Ego, 4 ultimates in tow. Ray now getting closer to that overdrive as well that he's been very potent with. But it is a little bit of just stall nature in the server at the moment. Everybody putting the brakes on, having a little bit of a break.
We're punished at Ascension, Dion, after having to deal with that Full Sense versus Synprisa stomping. And now we get what we deserve in some close games in the top 4 of this C final. So that line now, Nebula goes up, leaving old mate Ray4C in a little bit of an island here. They're not going to be able to defend him, but it's going to be very, very close. Look at the swing!
Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh, that is beautiful for Ray4C. The man is confident, composed, and that was brilliant stuff. NAOS had no idea what caught them there. And yeah, look, I don't know if I want to close the door on the game or not, but that was a pretty solid effort.
There's nothing you can do in that scenario, man. He's 3 away from the ult. He gets it with 3 bullets, essentially. Preparing on the slide, ready for it, straight shooting into their heads. I mean, unless Eman is using the 0 point at the pillar, you know, the standard lineup that we used to see teams throw when this map first come out. It was a very standard 0 point. Or we're seeing, like, Jar preempt a star there to suck. Or if we're seeing, you know, a Prowler. If you sniff him out there, then you know. But the fact that it was left dry because the attention was being drawn from Nakia on the site away from Ray.
Yeah,
that was gorgeous.
Absolutely. Again, you know, when you allow an agent to have this level of confidence as he goes in with another round forward, it is only the pistols, but when it's 1 away from that map point position, again, not being able to punish Ray4C, he gets 2 for his troubles before he's taken down, and then a quick trade as well to avenge his death. So poor NAOS right now licking their wounds. Jar able to find Nakia, and that does mean some further information has to be utilized. Chud goes for that neural theft, tries to gather some further control. They will spot out exactly where these members are, but they can just wrap around the spike. They don't have to do anything. They can use their utility and just burn down that clock.
Yep, you got Shockies, you got a Recon, you got more stars. I mean, you're probably not going to see the Cosmic Divide invested in this point in time, but hey, you've got it there if you do need. Jar's the only one with this primary weapon, and Nexi with the Sheriff. I mean, they're going to just really bleed down this time. I got to say, this alter ego Mitch on this map is looking very, very different to when they played Disguise, right? Ray Force C, I think, has been the huge linchpin and instigator in this one. He's actually getting activated. He found time and time again in the Seer Knight. 20 seconds to go now as we bring this one on back. Okay. Trades, at least.
Yeah, I mean, look, we just needed Jar to go in there.
Oh!
And he clutches out another one. 2 kills
No.
found. I was saying that he was baiting his teammate a little bit there, but he makes me eat my words as he closes out the frag. So Ray 4C's previous round and the opening 2 isn't going to be the nail in the coffin, but Jar, man, doing his best Puppy Chulo impression these last couple of rounds.
Yeah. He's done it again, and I mean, you see that clock go down at 10 seconds.
Yep.
One player not just getting out of dodge, trying to drop down a smoke, where at that point in time, it almost feels like he has to disrespect it to try and find it. If Just sees you dropping a smoke as an Astra, he knows he's got a window of about a second where you deploy that Nebula to get in and get that kill. So really heads up play from him for that, and it keeps NAOS in this one.
Game's not done just yet. A close one, as we deserved. So now they're just spotting. Trying to take this further control of Link here. Gotten will swing alongside Should. No info gathered. Still a bit of a stalemate in the early stages.
Yeah, NAOS have, you know, been bitten a little bit by their haste nature, so falling back a little, reeling everybody in, seeing if they can methodically clear a bunch of these angles one at a time before starting to scale in towards one of these sites. The Cypher utility over at B this time, so they won't have to contend with that if they do continue to the A site, but I see that that old mate Raid 4C's there, and I still do wonder, you know, are you trying to get in when there's an overdrive, when there's a judge?
His timing has
40
been
seconds.
so unique, right? Like, you know, he doesn't just throw himself in the deep end every single round. You know, this one, he's got a task, he's got a roll. He just needs to sit back and wait for the offense to come his way, which he manages to skip the Nightfall. Now the kill contract comes out. Moja has got a big task to try and secure this frag. He makes the time, and it's going to be Nakia to take him. Double tap reestablished now as well, so that's a good response here. Utility starts to get put down, but that's as we said, right? Ray 4C falls away.
You want to find it? Spike planted.
Cosmic Divide does get dropped, but Jar is nowhere near the action. He's playing the autonomy strength of an Astra for a very delayed flanking.
Yeah, look, he's clutched out the last few, so I don't blame him for going for it again in this position. The C's keeps with it. He might actually be in this position, but it's Ray 4C straight in, and now he pops the overdrive. They've actually moved into Flowers here, Komodo. This is a very big overextension potentially, but Jar gets one. Ray 4C under that defuse. It's going to be the Nova Pulse. No, the grab well pulls him off. It's okay for now, but again, it's Jar. 1 versus 2 clutch position. The neural theft, the gravity well, it's just not quite happening. It's just all over the shop. He manages to at least find one, but he's taken down. The defuse happens. The Cosmic Divide, it ends up being his own demise, right, for Jar.
Yeah, the problem is that the rest of his teammates went in towards Flowers, and they couldn't hear anything at that point in time either.
Yep.
Already on the half defuse, Ray managed to find before the gravity well started, so he's done really well there to stick it and just recognize that no one is actually in the site to deny. And that's one of the deficits of this NAOS composition when you're not running a Sova, you know, alongside the other agents. You don't have those shock darts. Eman's gone, so there's no fragment lineups, for example. Xavi can't really do much. Jar can't really do much. It's not leaning in towards any utility strengths at that point in time, damage-wise. Now we come in towards the scenario for Alter Ego. In their opponent's map pick, they do see map point. So if they can close out this round and the map, that gives them a huge leg up in this series.
I asked these teams to be gentle to me, Komodo. I was in the hospital yesterday, and it's hurting my brain, some of these rounds. It's going to absolute chaos around this, just namely this Astra utility, right? You know, it's just sort of been flipping the rounds sort of back to forth. But now as it stands, as we were alluding to before,
Ray's ready.
So much pressure. Exactly right. It is going to be another round ending on this A site. Ray 4C's been punished, but Nakia, the silent riot, does get pinged and held back now. They've popped the Hunter's Fury just to try and buy a little bit of extra time, and they're successful here, Alter Ego.
Yeah.
There.
And you're going to see Nexi turn into a little bit of a lurk at the moment. There is an open B site that camera can spot some information for. But Jar's already
Oh,
gotten
Jar.
forward, getting deep, looking hungry, looking for
Massive.
one. And I like that he falls away at this point in time. His utility is paramount in this situation.
Absolutely. Now the Haunt also getting belled and managing to force him off the line, even though narrowly it's going to be onto Nakia to try and do big things. He gets one. Will it be a second? Absolutely it will. It could be the ace here, Komodo. If he gets all of them, it's going to be all eyes on the prize here as the lurk comes around from Nexi. Are they going to clear it?
Oh no, Nexi!
It's so unfortunate, Nexi. You can't be losing that one. Now Nakia onto the line. Can he get it to half? Is he going to be running in here? Zavi, Nexia! Oh, he's done it! And that is going to be Alter Ego winning a round off the Chinese agent of ISO. Nicely done. What an incredible... Like the handshake between Australia and the Philippines in the casting couch at least. So I'm hoping for something strong for NAOS on a comeback, but the Indonesian region just in general is too hard to ignore. So
Yeah, I mean...
Alter Ego are up 1-0. Let's see what they can do.
We were also more recently in Indonesia, so technically,
We were,
you know,
yeah.
we had the casters there as well that were absolutely welcoming. And
Why are your guys' malls so big?
yeah,
Tell
true.
me that.
Not wrong. Alrighty, let's see if these guys are going to be able to run it through, because they are both actually on their weaker side to start on off. So whoever leads this half, I think they have a better lead into the second.
So, lots and lots of pressure being put onto this one. And, you know, elimination station here. You know, the team that loses here says goodbye and does not play again until next year. 2025, say.
Yeah, I know, right? We're getting old.
Oh, yeah.
This game's like nearly 5 years.
And, you know, I've been casting FPS for like 10 years now. I'm 31, sitting here looking at video game pixels and still loving it. I think that's a pretty special thing. So, anyway, I'll just hold my tongue for a second because it is going to be that burst on towards the B site with some position ready. Chud is in the can, but he's going to get a spot. Moja, only that first one to take point here, Komodo. But look at Chud, just patient as anything. Tripwire spotted. Is he going to try and contest here? He moves through the dark cover. Does deny. Spike now dropped. A little awkward as Jar trying to force his way through, trying to connect. Ray 4C gets caught up by the relay bolt. And I just don't know what the hell is going on in this round right now. Still no spike planted. 30 seconds to go. Moja gets another, but the rest of the team's dropping like flies as it stands. 2-on-2. Zavi still trying to get out of market, but Nakia needs to clear that position. Moja for the slab, but he goes straight into the crosshair, and now as Nakia has to reload, Zavi hits the right click. No, it's not the right click, it's the classic. Getting it done, and what? How has Zavi done that? The 1-2 clutch, and NAOS punch forward.
I think that was a bit of an overextension from them at the end there on Alter Ego's side. That got brought down to a 2 versus 1, and the plant wasn't even going on down at the moment. So I really thought that Alter Ego could have just settled themselves and not get a little bit too overzealous. You could see there that they were relatively low HP. So for Ray 4C at the end there, and, you know, Onko, a little bit unfortunate. But for the pistol round of NAOS, Mitch, how many successful pistol rounds did we see on the first map from NAOS?
Right here.
2.
And how many, you know, rounds did we not really see converted on the gun rounds, right? Which matter a lot more, less. So
I'm trying something different. I'm standing. I miss land so much, and it's only been a couple months, so I'm standing right now, and it feels good. Great shot from Nexi in the end there to catch Ray 4C. Again, only just the pistol, but to be able to continue the use of this ghost very nicely is a great sight. So, look, again, you know, NAOS, all I can say is straight off the rip, like, you can't just be winning your pistols in the second round. You need to be converting more. To have 4 rounds found of their 10 in moments like this, it just doesn't paint the greatest picture. So, let's hope they can at least stabilize here. It's going to be no damage so far for the side of Alter Ego. Frags at the very least. Emma should find Nakia. So that's a really solid bonus, or bonus preparation for NAOS here, right?
yeah, and they'll carry over 2 Bulldogs, 2 Stingers, the Sheriff that you can upgrade if you want there as well. But I think it's going to build a lot of confidence coming in towards this 3rd round. If NAOS have figured out any idea on how they want to actually be navigating the early stages, right? Because we haven't seen their playbook too hard. You know, in this little subset for the viewers out there, right? 2 rounds where we've gone B, and it's been a very scrappy pistol round that you narrowly get by, kind of on the fault of Alter Ego to a degree. And the 2nd round, you come out with a flawless. You know, do you want to build a little bit of consistency to bait them over in towards this B main play to bring more members of Alter Ego to this B site? and make your you know, your A side a little bit easier when you do it. Conditioning is always very important in tactical FPS.
So, positioning.
Oh, he didn't have his gun out.
Yeah, that's rough, man. The slide on in, and now Moja gets 2. Will he find a 3rd? He absolutely will. Almost gets the dink. Should actually getting away with 2 there. That's way more than he bargained for. But this is a round where it was the bonus only from NAOS. They got in all up in the grill of Alter Ego. And now we see them having to try and retake here. Gotten and Nakia 2-on-3.
Yep, into B again for the 3rd time for NAOS. Looking to convert it successfully once more. A lot of utility, however, for the members on Alter Ego in this retake.
Aldrone gathers a hell of a lot there through market too, so that does make it a little bit awkward.
Standing ahead.
Stranglehold now. Trying to get that utility out. The scan.
Revealing area.
Continuing to force these members of Alter Ego kind of up against the wall. Nakia does hit a quick shot, taking down the opposing Sova. Now into this 2 versus 2. Not a round that now is going to be giving up here. They do manage to slot through and Jar with that timing. Great little hop down through the dark cover. And with 2 alive now, picking up the 3rd round. They heard us talking smack Komodo, and they are so back.
Pretty sure that smoke actually was from Gotham as well, that assisted NAOS at the end there too, dropping down. Just good realization as well that you can have that little extra time when you've got this player advantage, though, equalize into the 2 versus 2, where pressure does build with that spike needing to be diffused. That is a really large round that NAOS do pick up. It's the bonus round. It's the establishment of a strong attacking side lead, and it looks to further extend as well if you consider this one being what should be, quote, a little bit free. Next round, they can build up a lot of these ultimates too. Moja and Nexi, you're either grabbing an orb or you're getting a kill. You're looking for a plant there on someone. I wouldn't actually mind seeing Eman be the one here to gather these orbs, gather this plant to get closer to a Rolling Thunder, because that could be really helpful coming in towards a layering set strategy.
Yeah.
Cover going out.
So just that initiative from Gotten, that's something that we're not going to be seeing much more in future, unfortunately, the one way.
There.
I mean, look, I understand the logic behind it, trying to nerf it to make it a little bit more, you know, forced in. But there's
I feel like they remove a little bit of the, you know, agent ingenuity,
creativity,
and discovery,
that's right.
and creativity, yeah. But I mean, look, how creative can you be with pistols in this round?
Hey,
Lucky.
Ray 4C.
Oh,
Almost. Unfortunately, having to find 2 there. Yeah, it should try to see a shot on Xavi, but look, 4 alive, Vandals up. Utility very, very close there. 1 away from the Hunter's Fury, from the Shadows, Neural Theft. Overdrive now secured for Moja, and that is, yeah, definitely a well-timed timeout for Alter Ego here. I think any longer, and it could start to get out of their grasp a little bit, Komodo. But I think, look, you know, the interesting thing, right, is NAOS' game yesterday against Zol. 13-1, 14-12. Super close, and then far apart. So, you know, NAOS are now starting off really hot here. I don't think it's going to be a 13-1 here. Alter Ego definitely still in it with a chance. It's too early to tell, but yeah, I don't know. We should get 3 maps. That's what I'm hoping for.
We did see them bounce back and get a string of rounds though on map number 1 after their timeout, remember? When it was 4-1. So maybe it is the time that 4 rounds is enough for the coach to kind of say, all right, I figured it out. Game on.
What have they got to work with here? Same agent compositions, same income. But hey, we can't.
I think only Australians will get that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Soup Chat. I don't think you guys are going to pick up on my Australian meme. But as I said, Alter Ego definitely have a good position from here. They haven't let it run away too far from them yet.
Yeah.
And another gun round. That's where they found most of their success on Pearl. Don't expect anything different here on Sunset.
Yep. I would love to see early building in towards B main as well from NAOS actually to draw very quick rotations and then just change it up and go back towards A. I can see from the pings around the map that we're going to be setting up for a bit of a fault line dark combination from Alter Ego over at A. That's why I kind of want to see this pushing towards B. Ray 4C good for 1. And he should actually be allowed to escape.
Yeah. Realization of the fast lane there, but that's that one way we talk about it, right? It makes it nasty. So Ray 4C has been punished. Valden can at least equalize to a level. Moja also punished. So this is AE getting their way back into it, as we spoke about. The Ray 4C opens up the bank account, but the savings is put in from the remaining members in Valden, in Nakia. But Eman, Xavi, still alive. That spike does get tapped down. Still not yet looking for it. They managed to burn the Hunter's Fury, and Nothing spotted off the back of that just yet either, Komodo.
Yeah, 3 bad darts, not netting anything, but you do buy a little bit of extra time to see him. And on the plants as well, he will get this this Rolling Thunder online. Will he actually use it towards Boba?
Aftershock thrown away, so now the Paranoia coming out, and that is that Rolling Thunder that we spoke about, right? But they're a little awkward. They were pushed back, not able to fight with that Paranoia. Now another Flashpoint coming out as well, making it very, very awkward. So Nakia takes it. Xavi has to try clutch this one out, and it's just way too hard. Great re-entrance into the site there from Alter Ego. And yeah, well played.
Absolutely. Good level-headedness from Alter Ego as well. Didn't necessarily need to use the Hunter's Fury, but it's really early stages on. You want to get around on the board. You will refresh it as well, and you want to secure it. So you can't really fault him for using it at the end there. More importantly, they do survive with 4 members, right? Definitely a big pass mark here. Bit of overextension from Ray 4C, and a bit of overzealousness from NAOS in the exploration up through mid. So you'll learn a little bit from a round such as that. But this is certainly where things will get a little bit more interesting because of the 4 ultimates that NAOS do have, right? They can immediately answer back to Alter Ego's 1 round on the board. Though, if we do continue to see them lean in towards the A site, do they relinquish early control? That was risky from Gotten.
Bold. And he's stuck into the corner as well now, but he does manage to utilize the Shrouded Step to get out. Moja 1, Nakia trades. And now do they want to continue this pace? It looks like they absolutely will, trying to get in towards this corner.
I know
After shot goes out, that will be burned. And now the Neural Theft tries to get them further in towards this round. They've seen the position, so does that mean they want to go for it or not? Valden finds Jump. So it makes it very, very awkward now. They've completely rotated. They're just going to go straight through tiles, leaving up the site for them. Market door open. They will be able to get in towards position. But look at this catch from Nexi. Actually going to try and split the wickets here, Komodo, by placing top mid. Will he get the catch? No. Timing. Fantastic. Nobody clearing Nexi. He can just wait. He can just buy time. Look at this. They're going to be straight, completely confused. Unfaltered Nexi getting 2 massive kills. Ray 4C wondering, where's my team gone? But they have to be careful because look at this pacing. If he can slide on through and get the catch, he does! There it is! That's the denial. 2 big frags found. Now Xavi has to connect, but Ray 4C continues to kick. Xavi all alone has to try and split the wicket exactly. Down. Awkward. The timing. He fires the warning shots. And all Ray 4C needs to do is just bring that confidence forward. And man, Nexi is going to be burning to these lost all that control to just a cheeky little neon.
The biggest thing is that control never should have come into fruition. When you see the utility that Chud had placed over at the B site, you can see it on the radar at the moment in these replays. 2 trap wires on the site, a camera in the window. He could have popped that one when they're walking in towards market to secure the information of how many members are actually extending into the site, right? Because you got to consider a neural theft is never 100% secured information by the time between the pings and as soon as it ends as well. That's why you can see the little timing exploit that NAOS are trying to throw into the mix as well there. So it never should have gotten at the end there. It never should have gotten put into the position that Ray 4C actually needed to come out with that double of the judge.
Of course. Yeah, Nexi just doing really, really big things to find that control top mid and getting that catch of the timing. They weren't aware of it at all, and that's where the utility of the Cypher gets destroyed on towards that site, right? You know, once he's taken down, there's no further success from that util. So now it's called a pause. They've got their advantage. They're up 4-2. They don't want to let this slip, but this is very, very similar to what we saw on Pearl, right? You know, these guys were down, and then Alter Ego had a resurgence. I think they got up to 6-4 before NAOS did manage to turn the tide 6-6. So yeah, the Indonesian side, they're within an arm's reach, and they're going to keep on pushing.
The thing is, you still got these exit strategies as well from NAOS, or maybe their input strategies at the moment. Xavi can cordon off a lot of these angles with the Hunter's Fury. Moja can get in with a couple of slides, refresh them with the overdrive as well if they get an idea of where Alter Ego are playing. Back towards Old Faithful at the beginning of this round. The B site for NAOS, not seeing any challenge from Ray 4C at the beginning as well. Can actually allow them to spread a little bit of information towards the A site, get an idea of who is playing around the map from Alter Ego before ultimately deciding where they wanted to end up.
Poking and prodding. Gotten was very bold to shoulder that line last time. But yeah, just limited info gathered. A rotation around blind. Valden getting that position. Has the Rolling Thunder on kick. But yeah, now really get to show their hand.
The biggest thing is this exchanging of drones, but also the utility positioning of Chud yet again. Camera in market, he can be left to his own devices at the B site. It'll see if anyone walks into the site itself and in through market, where you've got this trap laying in wait for Ray 4C at the top of mid as well. So it is a really nice setup for Alter Ego. And then there's much more importance on Savvy to find some bait positioning to draw them to this A site, to keep these members of Alter Ego entertained over at Alpha.
If Ray 4C goes down here, it's going to be an awkward line. We do have the rotation now coming through. Zavi will try to join them. Obviously, Hunter's Fury available. Now's the cam will be destroyed. They start to make their way through. That's that Hunter's Fury popped, and it's good timing. I think it does catch a little awkward, but exactly it. They have to get in towards the site. It is going to be from the shadows thrown out, but it doesn't quite do anything. It's just there to sit, just there to hold position. Moja is up forward. Now the aftershock comes out. Ja going up with the shrouded step.
Go, go,
It's
go.
going to just be such an awkward fight to try and get back in towards this position. Ray 4C makes noise. Moja, Nexi get the trades out. Valden gets one for his trouble, but Eman is there to punish. Now Chud left all alone in a 1v4. And it's awkward. Back up against the wall. Inside the dark cover will be Zavi, and that allows the rest of the time and NAOS to get into main, and this is just no round recovery for Chud. He might get one more, but Zavi's going to deny, and that's a massive response here from NAOS. They are going to be pushing forward and not letting the same problems happen that they experienced on Pearl.
Right here.
Yeah, a little bit too passive are Alter Ego in that position when they've got 3 members over at A. They've got no forward information. Ray 4C is not getting challenged in mid, and the camera, it sees nothing from Chud, and he's kind of just a statue at that point in time. You needed to see a little bit more initiative from Alter Ego around the 40-second mark to push together with a little bit of this utility to get your dart out. You know, you've put in the drone, but what has that really done? You've had a handshake between 2 Al drones and you've seen nothing else, right? You need to see a little bit more initiative from Alter Ego to be gathering the information. They can't rely on just being too stalled in this round.
There.
That's also a missed shock dart, by the way. Sorry, Savvy. I'll call you.
Yeah, can't hold it against him, mate. Come on. Happens to the best of us. There, look, Ray 4C's position is overlooked, and it is. Because 1 is good, right? You know, 1 in this position. Nakia obviously still holding on to that Vandal. Chud pushes forward, gets a frag with the Guardian, but now Moja isn't going to be able to pick up anything at all. He invests this overdrive to try and go hunting, but Chud can just sit back. He knows he's low, but by staying alive and allowing a little bit of extra time, he can at least bait this further information as Moja still has to continue pushing forward. He does get taken down by Chud, but yeah, that's, I suppose, the main thing here.
If you use the Rolling Thunder to get into this 3 versus 3 from Valden, be a very risky maneuver.
Just that single Vandal. Nakia, if he finds something, maybe it's worthwhile going for here, as there is some blinding that does happen. Moja, though, will connect, and that's the Vandal going. Valden does hit another shot. Position. Moving through Boba. I don't think it's going to be enough, as they will not clear this back box. Jar finds the shot, and now find 6.
Yeah, 2 surviving at the end there. I think you're still kind of okay because you did manage to find at least the half equalization. I'll throw it back to what we were talking about earlier on in this series, Mitch, who, you know, both of these teams are technically in history weaker on the sides that they're on right now, you know. They go on to their stronger statistic sides in the next half. So for NAOS to already find 6 with 4 more rounds of play, it's looking pretty good for them so far. I'm also just recognizing that Gotten is still on the donut yet to get kill department happening.
Cover going
get some individual confidence, you know, in this round. Maybe that is a little piece of a puzzle that Alter Ego require to get a little bit more confidence into it.
So better looking NAOS, though. Komodo is all I can really sort of reiterate here. Looking way more confident. Split around the corner. Even Moja managing to hold on for a little bit longer. Ray 4C punished for that slide on in. Gotten does get one. And he's looking to continue forward. Great little shoulder step there. Nicely done with the counter strafe. Nexi gets one back. But if Gotten can find this, no. Punish. Nexi, Emma. Rolling Thunder available. It's going to be a rotation a long way from Chud, and he's spotted. 1 kill and he at least gets the neural theft, but look at this proactivity now straight into defender side of Spawn. They are going to play a little game of ring around the rosy, but I don't think there's going to be enough time here for Chud. They've done so well NAOS are going to be right into the back pocket here of Alter Ego. The only thing that they could do is overstay, but the spike, it's planted so open. Eman will get this information as Chud's walking in. Doesn't quite spot the line, but that's A-okay. Chud has to clear out so much. And Komodo, I'm just going to call it now. Round's done. 7 for NAOS. And, yeah, Alter Ego just sitting here wondering what the hell's going to even happen. They don't need a burner. There's that util. Rolling Thunder's held on to. And yeah, as I said, we just have to think about what could potentially occur. They lose the weapons, but that's it.
Yeah, they lose the weapons at the end there. They never were going to use the Rolling Thunder. Camera and Fault Line combination sets it up. You got pretty much the round secured when you realized that the Neural Theft was invested from now to find the last position. Gotten 200% increase in the kill department is always going to be happy, but the team didn't get the round at the end. I'll also add, as a Cypher player, your utility, you know, it's very strong when you're looking to lock down a site, but when you go for those rotations, if you're not managing to pull your trap back, pull your camera back, you're literally clearing angles dry body is so bloody difficult. So, you know, you always do have to be a little bit proactive to pull your utility back if you are Chud at the end there. Half now guaranteed over towards NAOS, regardless of outcome now. But you would definitely think that they would keep extending it, wouldn't ya? Back to the Sheriff's Overdrive, potentially usable for Ray 4C with this fabled Bucky in hand yet again.
Again, just worlds different, isn't it? Of the experience that we're seeing now seem to be much more on the same page than they were previously. As Alter Ego continue to play that dangerous sort of game. You know, you'd think that on the defender's side, they would have had a little bit more control. They've still got some utility worthwhile using, but now as they push forward, it's going to be Gotten. If he can get a shot, maybe something will be worthwhile, but it's going to be on to Ray 4C to see what he can do now. The relay bolt is good, okay. He does get held off the line a little bit. The relay bolt on the opposing side is going to force him back. Damage being dealt, but it's just not quite connecting. Moja lives on and punishes the opposing Neon. So that's another round where Alter Ego have invested a fair bit and not really seeing that success. 3-2, make that a 3-1, and Nuck is going to have to rotate around and try and deny, and I just think it might be a little bit too out of his reach.
Spike planted.
Yeah, if he was on an ISO this time, I think I'd give him a little bit of weight for a good crack, but on the Sova, where we've not really seen too much, unfortunately, it feels a little bit too far-fetched, doesn't it?
We'll let him have a crack, but just this lack of speed obviously means the round is going to start to burn away. You'd have to take Moja and then hard clear, but Jar and Nexi are set up top to bottom. So we're going to see contact in just a half second, and it's going to be Moja with the side step. Finding a 3K on this Neon, and it now up with 8 rounds now. You know, decimation against Alter Ego.
I think there's a lot of ill timing over at that A main example as well, right? Where you've gotten kind of overextends by himself. Ray's not ready with the overdrive or any utility. No flash to assist yourselves either. Feels just very risky, Forgotten with no reward on the back of it, even though Ray finds one in the mix. There's nothing extra, right? He's challenging against 3-4 players, and he's just doing it by himself. So I think you're getting a little bit... he's throwing caution in the wind if you are Alter Ego, you know? Kind of getting a little bit loopy at this stage.
Don't want to let it slip. You know, having such a strong opening where everyone on the team was kind of doing their part. You know, we are seeing frags come out from these individuals, but it's just that team play and some missed shots. You know, Gotten, he was playing really, really well on Pearl, and now he's, you know, 2 kills, really suffering. Ray 4C has to try and do it all here from the pillar. Slides in through sight, gets back into market. Nakia finds Zabby, so there's some proactivity. Alter Ego starting to put the pieces together now, Komodo. Now it's just have to park it inside market, and they've got no groceries in hand.
Yeah, well, you are Forgotten in this point in time, aren't you? Rolling Thunder on in. Ray 4C caught in the crossfire of it. Oh, hello, Jar. How you doing? 3 versus 3, looking for a little bit of more as the plant goes down.
Very good utility usage there. Valden still has his own. Find another. They can separate the players, but Moja pushes forward. That would have been a key to utility there, Komodo. The Rolling Thunder now out of play for the side of Alter Ego. 2v2 on this plant. Neural Theft available. Chud will send that in to try and find some. Under will actually catch on Anakia, buying a little bit of additional time. They get the info, but Eman, as he does it, they slot back in, joining Moja, the double up here. Eman does get the tap for the overdrive. All it needs to do is just keep them interested. Just keep them entertained as Eman will be able to pick up the pieces, and now continue their tear. Last round of the half, 9-2. This is just a complete different story to Pearl.
Good little fault line at the end there as well when that neural theft comes through as well. Just recognizing that our alter ego aren't going to go for the retake really until that first ping comes out. And you buy yourself a little bit of time before the second ping with that fault line to reposition in towards main. And then you got that contingency as well of Moja with the overdrive just to kind of spread legs and run around again. You know, it kind of feels like if you hide the names on the server at the moment, you'd think that Moja is playing a little bit like Ray4C was over on the first map, you know?
Definitely. He has been lots more confidence, and you know, it's the Phantom as opposed to that shotgun. So this time, see Valden invest early, but yeah, Ray4C just runs straight into the crosshair. Nakia does trade it out, but look at this position now from Shud. Does Guardian found. Now he has to try and fall away, but another will connect. Confidence is key here. He shoulders out the head,
shut the door on him.
gets the info. Door is closed, but that's okay because he didn't want to go to the party anyway. Eman left all alone in this 2-on-4, but Eman gets one back, traded by Dalden. So this looks like we will see an alter ego find of the 9-3 half, which is that cursed scoreline. But Nexi still going to try to do his best.
I mean, when one door closes, another one opens. At this point in Sunset, it's going to be the same bloody one, isn't it? See if Nexi can bring the goods to this party or not, Mitch. Versus 3. By a lick of timing.
Yeah.
He can
Sort
get
of
the 1 versus 1.
Exactly. I don't like this, what they're doing here, Alter Ego. You can't be giving these duels. You have to make the lights much better. Okay. Well done from Alter Ego. They find love in a hopeless place right at the very end of the half. It's a 9-3, maybe not quite enough, but at least it's something as we shift in and wait to see what the reversing side will bring us.
Enemy remaining.
To put in front of him here, 9-3, is a roughie to be looking back from. And Komodo, it looks like it is going to be an absolute duel and bloodbath out mid as Jar does pop that one. Moja's already finding a fight as well, and the paranoia makes it awkward. But Moja, Nexi, they do get responded on to, though. Valden and Ray4C find something, but in the corner, it's going to be awkward, forgotten. Taken down now, Ray4C has to try and connect here. They've already got that spike. Okay, never mind. We're safe. I was going to say, popping that shock bolt makes it a little awkward, but NAOS pick up the pistol straight away, and that's 4 for 4.
Yeah, I mean, Ray4C's really falling into a dark pit, hadn't he? On that defensive side, it felt like that he was kind of delivering the same performance that he did against Disguise. Kind of nada, but it is also carrying over into that pistol round. He gets flashed, he really bolts himself, can't really get anything activated. Just feels like this is a map pick that's really getting away from Alter Ego. Because you got to remember as well, right? Both pistols secured from NAOS over on map 1, but they end up losing, not converting rifle rounds. Very large difference on this map at the moment, where now they've converted both pistol rounds. They converted the bonus in the first half. They're converting a lot of these gun rounds. This is looking much better for NAOS, swimming in their own lane. Maybe it was just map number 1, warm-up performance. Map number 2, really big one. And then map number 3 that we all deserve will be contested again.
Eagle-eyed.
Great shot.
Good shot.
Yeah, nice and sharp. Fault line will force him away, however, but said it's going to be for Ray4C, like a man being pulled there.
Last player
Feels like
standing.
500 ping.
Yeah.
Down, B.
Pretty much. Will make work of one, but Nexi's happy with his 3K on the Guardian. Outlaw secured, recovered.
I can't see them.
It's going to be super strong. So, I don't know. It doesn't really seem like there's a way where Alter Ego find their way back into this one. And NAOS is making a very fantastic case for a good series, right? You know, we get the one really close. One more far gone, but at least it's now showing that they've got what it takes to, you know, at least compete in this series.
The pistol was definitely required for Alter Ego to give them a semblance of confidence coming back in towards this map, at least I feel, because even in towards this bonus round, 2 light shields, you got Ray4C still rocking in towards that judge, and you've got comparable guns kind of on the side of NAOS at the point in time, right? Couple of Bulldogs, Guardian in the mix. You've also got that Outlaw that's just been singing and even opening up for a kill.
God.
This is the problem with light shields in this game now that the Outlaw has been introduced, and this will be the problem as well when the regen shields come into play as well. We may very well see more adaptation in towards these Outlaws, in towards these Guardians when you're getting these secondary rounds, third rounds, when those type of shields will be purchased up.
Remember another game on the old Xbox that had regen shields? The same like boop sound, but I digress. A little bit of
The only
focus.
thing like that is the ISO shield.
Yeah. Close enough. Another shot.
Another one for
down,
Zavi.
Yeah, massive. Should now at least make some level of opening, but next he can't quite connect onto that recon bolt here. And now A4C pushing forward. Okay, there's a case for the round now. A little bit of an awkward fire because Jar can just cruise on through, but he's actually baited and switched Nakia. Finding one back. Now Moja has to go big. Will the relay bolt connect? Not quite. Moja has to push forward. Gets a great shot, but there's Ray4C again. Eman only with the ghost here, Komodo trying to... Ray4C just has to be so careful. He wants to buy his time right. And it's Chud on the line. He got the opener, and he certainly got the closer. Alter Ego still in it to win it. They hurt. They bleed out of that bonus round from NAOS.
The end there from NAOS as well was very individual with how they're going for those picks too, giving Ray4C the opportunity to get ready to slide on in. Gotta adjust a little bit later on in that because the opening kills were there from Zavi as well, right? The first one completely unanswered. The second one traded almost immediately, but NAOS members, right place at the right time. I feel like it fell apart a little bit when Nexi couldn't destroy that Sova dart. He gets pinged on out. Ray challenges him. Plant goes down. But it was the bonus round at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. You can't really, think too hard into that. You've done some really good damage. You got the spike planted. So, yeah, now thinking about what a recovery can look like here. Trying to find that first gun round.
Yep. Now's the time for them to find round number 12. Ha ha ha.
Come on, dude. I'm the 30-year-old here. Thank you very much.
Hey, my hair's getting there.
Yeah,
Great.
true.
That was great 18 to be fair.
Yeah, exactly right, mate. Too much stress.
Oh,
Too many
mate,
things
it never
going on in
stops.
that house.
Opening pick though, yet again for Zavi. You'll take that. One away from the Hunter's Fury, as we'll refresh one-way smoke over at B and draw a little bit of attention away from this location to see if there's any overextension that Gotten can find, though he's been pretty passive himself. Maybe in his own head a little bit with the performance, but you got to forget about that because this is when you do need to dig deep. You do need to make sure that you deliver a performance in this round to keep it contested.
30 seconds left.
Such an awkward line now, right? With that utility starting to go down, they are stuck in link, so in the lane rather. Do get a little cheeky teleport over, just still sitting inside that dark cover. The opposing side, so he's trying to use it to his advantage, but with Valden finding that spike plant now, they actually rotate around towards Elbow here. It's going to be a massive duel.
Scanning ahead.
Focus, set, relay bolt comes through, and somehow Moja and Zavi, what the hell was that? That round, they just dropped like flies. It was like we blinked and the round was completely done. Now Spine 12, map point.
360, 720 spray down.
Yeah,
Quick scopes in there from the Outlaw.
No, man. Yep, that one.
Don't see them in there.
No.
Valorant. They're in.
Oh, we will eventually.
Nah.
I'm sure we will one
They
day.
can stick in Americas.
Of course.
Alter Ego timeout though. And I'm kind of looking to see what kind of conversation you can have at this point in time when you've got zero momentum going your way. Feels like you don't have any feet in the server at the moment on this map. And it's surprising as well, right? Because it is the map of your own choosing, though you look towards the history as well. It's not a stellar map for either of these teams, right? I'll start with NAOS, 14-12 against Zol, 17-15 against Rapid Lo-Fi. You lost 3-13 a little bit earlier against Boom. And then for Alter Ego, I mean, you're beating Bigitron, 14-12. You're beating Zol, 13-11. You're losing to La Familia in another 20, 11-13. So it's like you're getting very, very close scorelines, which is why in the pre-show I kind of highlighted the importance of the bans that actually came through, right? Because it feels like to me, you didn't really leave Alter Ego a chance to pick into a strong map. You know, you're kind of looking at Split potentially that they do go for a pick. You're not going Abyss or Haven, of course, because those were the first two bans. Then NAOS ends up binding Bind, so you could have picked into Bind. You could have picked into Ascent as well. I almost feel like the Bind pick that I was, telling you about earlier, I feel like we should have seen Alter Ego picking Bind.
Binding ban, Komodo. You man said it himself. It is going to be a potential sunset on the second map for Alter Ego. but they've denied this early control. Trying to force their way out on towards that B site, but the tirade of utility sends them back towards mid.
Yeah. Now it'll be a little silent storm yet again. See what you can set up for Ray 4C before that overdrive gets popped. And I like the initiative now back in towards B main at the moment for that one-on-one duel against Nexi.
Just got to be careful here. Yeah, he gives that one away, and it's going to be the round potentially turned, but there he is, straight to the forefront. And now Ray 4C gets 1.5. He takes down Eman so damn low, and Gotten jumps up straight into the grill of Eman. Ja, Nexi, the only ones with any sort of opportunity of taking him down, but Valden is the hero, and Rigo, well, you know what? They don't want to go down just yet, and that's enough to force NAOS into the timeout. And I respect the hell out of that. 7 rounds ahead, but you want to make sure you're 100%ing every single round now.
Conversion rate for Alter Ego on the back of their timeouts, however, is pretty scary, right? So now if you, I mean, I know NAOS called it, but works favor for Alter Ego as well, where they can have another conversation. So wouldn't even put it past them if Alter Ego are able to continue on with that flow and double down here into another round. Start to mount to come back 1 round at a time. But again, it is always going to be that overarching scenario where one round, right? One round is all NAOS need.
One singular round, but then a whole other map behind it, right? So that's why they're making sure they capture this. They try and maintain that momentum because, as we've seen so many times, right? You know, a team might go down in a map. They have a little bit of a cheeky resurgence into the heart of that map. They can drive that straight into the next map, you know, using that momentum to really sort of push themselves forward. But now it's just making sure that they try to cut that in all elements. Potential round again. Map point continues. See how far I'll take it.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
Alright, up though, leaning on towards the A site for Alter
Here.
Already home for NAOS as they want to have a bit of a challenge. Can't blame them for this little different challenge.
Careful here.
Interesting little trade there on the opener. It's just been a demon with this outlaw. But you just see this frozen position, right? You know, the forward position for NAOS. It's actually going to be punished. And now we try to see Moja run in ahead with the overdrive. And Ray 4C is going to completely decimate him. So, I don't know, man. Alter Ego, they're chipping away slowly.
Timeout conversion rate, Mitch.
Yeah,
timeout conversion rate. Just don't
even on
call timeouts now as NAOS and you'll win.
That's it. Yeah. Even on NAOS' timeouts, they're still making it look good. So, look, Xavi, I love you, but I'm not going to give you this 1v4 just yet. If you take it, I'll be very proud of you. But I think Alter Ego 6, you know, they start talking 7, 8, and even again, they lose. That's just a little snowball effect into the next map.
The one thing I'm concerned about, though, when the weaponry's back for NAOS is they can have a little bit of time to build up their ultimates as well. And those are the sort of explosive rounds that you can get on the board, and they only need one of them. That's a nice shot, but immediately traded out. So, yeah, the 6th is gathered. Very well done for Alter Ego. Can't discredit them there. When those ults do come online for NAOS on the back of a rifle round, will it seal the deal? You're looking at this round as well with the neural theft of Nexi, a little bit away from Eman getting the rolling thunder. Probably not going to be finding that in towards this round, but it's the story that I'm mentioning, right, where it can be a little bit later. So little by little, you got to chip away at these rounds as Alter Ego. You're changing your strategies time and time again with your B prodding, your A prodding, a little bit of the extensions in towards mid as well. So it is good to see that they are, you know, still having a couple of strategies that are unexpected and different renditions of the same strategies as well that are being attempted.
Cover going out.
Playbook certainly not shallow. Again, it's that reactive sort of Valorant gameplay that we hope to see. Now, NAOS, you know, after some proactivity in mid the previous round, now we see similar into market. And they are actually going to walk out mid off the back of that as well. So, you know, on this rifle round, it's going to be key for them to see if they can actually connect with some of the shots here. It's going to be Gotten to potentially be the first one to take point, but Eman has to be so careful. Nakia was absolutely ready for that. And now with no utility set down on towards this B site, they send the pings. The dark cover will go in the one way on towards the box at the start. But Ray 4C Komodo, he wants to start hopping, skipping, and jumping his way out on towards the site. Does cross, gets a little bit of a pull and some info. The Aftershock will hold them. And yeah, that's another Moja being found as well. And they are trapped, but there's just NAOS members dropping like flies. And the A site's open for real estate.
Nakia was very patient to be able to find that one because he did spot the gun barrel of Moja when he repositioned into that mid box.
Nexy. Oh my god, how many times have we seen that happen? The position, the proactivity, but now he's just going to rely on his utility. The trip will get the first catch, and there is another one down on towards this side. Still has a cam. Nexy connects with the shot. Apparently he can hit players he can't see, but can't connect with the ones that are in his vision.
Spike planted.
So it's got to be that neural theft that does start to go in. They pause it for just a second.
Does have a dart as Savvy. Again, it is still this play deficit. Valden does have a rolling thunder if they do manage to get on in. Information secured on the camera.
All relying here on that little bit of pace put in by Nexy. Recon Bolt will now come through. Nexy starting to clear. Ray 4C does get another one for his troubles. So they are going to try and at least force his way. Doesn't. Nakia again, who has just been a menace. An awesome round for him with the 3K. And unfortunately, Jar has to sit there. Gone 4 alive for Alter Ego. So hard to even conceptualize a comeback of this nature, right? This scale, but NAOS is certainly putting in a failed case right now as Alter Ego just continue to claw at their backs and not in the good way.
It's the huge difference on seeing a team on round number 11 or seeing a team on round number 12 secured, right? If Alter Ego make a mistake, it's done. If they had 11 over on NAOS, they have that opportunity to make 1 or 2 mistakes. So you just see how important all of these kills and a little bit more of these passive approaches are from Alter Ego as well. Time earlier, you might not have seen the stick around for that kill that Nakia finds over in mid, right? He might have gone over towards B main to help his team execute into the site with this over utility. So they really need to play as much information as they can in these sort of rounds. Might be a little bit easier, granted, by the lesser utility that NAOS present in this one yet again. Mind you, Moja's actually pushed up in towards B main as well, so you might get the idea that it's either a mid exploration or it is going to lean over towards A, where the majority of NAOS's forces actually do lay in wait.
Well, trying to creep their way through. Xavi, what's the line first? But Ray4C, as we know, he's just going to show face for the time being. Doesn't quite want to aggress into it now, and he will in the end. But there's Nexy, straight on the side. Xavi getting another. If it's a round where they lose here to the Sheriffs, it'll be so disappointing. But Nexy, he is the hero on the side, an absolute cold. Now Chud has to clear absolutely every single angle, and that fast lane is going to give some safe passage. It's one though, Chud in power position, doesn't quite connect with the second, however, and Eman alongside Nexy will be the heroes, where at least that thing in Valorant that can be quite hard to sort of get your head around at times. That leads to success for some of these people when they do shift around those roles, very much map dependent. So a special thing about Valorant to be able to lean into your strengths and avoid those weaknesses at times. So we go 1-1 is the scoreline. It's split. Who will be eliminated and who will keep on kicking? NAOS or Alter Ego?
Yeah, now start on this defensive side as well. And if they want their defenses to be structured, well, they want some more members to transition over to this A site, because the B stack at the moment is the wrong call. And they've just sent out a guiding light over there from Eman. So they should be rotating over pretty soon if they want to try and stave off any aggression from Alter Ego.
With that info being found now by Moja, he's going to walk into Ramen. Chud does find Eman. Jar able to quickly trade it out, however. So that information actually might pay dividends here. As they walk into the site now, Nakia will break the trip. They will find control. They will find that spike planted. Nice and open. Screens now smoked off. So they got plenty of time to establish this post plan and how they want to do it. They look like they want to burst into towards screens here.
Yeah, well, it's not a bad idea at the moment. NAOS have to be a little bit respectful for this one, and that they are on the back of this dark cover. There's the information. Great paranoia, though.
Yeah, well done. Forcing him out completely. Nexy now on the back foot. Nakia just diving across to try and bait out the shots, and Gotten will get that one back in. Moja and Xavi, last two standing here. I mean, the positioning from Xavi is good. He gets up in towards heaven, but Valden got to take him down. So Moja's got a whole lot of work to do, obviously, with this open plan. A little bit of a tap in. Going to be just probably too hard the one way as well. This is played to absolute perfection from Alter Ego. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he can get it to half, but it's not really going to matter when he's got no time anyway. So a great flood into the site from Alter Ego. The post plant was set nicely, and it leads to them winning their first pistol round of this rematch.
Yeah. Gotten on the board nice and early. Let's go. No zeros to be seen for 10 or so rounds.
All right,
You do
Alter
like to
Ego
see-
winning this.
Oh, that's a very bold call, nice and
I'm
early.
joking, bro. I said Focus was going to win OS, and then they lost last night, so I can't. I said Full Sense was going to win Ascension. You know, it's just the Conky curse.
Yeah, this is true. I'll keep with my predictions. 100% Ascension prediction.
Ah, yeah, righto. You're too safe.
Yep.
I take risks.
Too safe?
I
Too
pick
safe?
the Australians.
Fair.
Hang on.
Oh, he still gets one at least.
I don't know. This is a little bit dicey. Nakia finding one. The regrowth will help out, though, so I think it'll be a-okay. But the rotation from Davy, don't know if he's quite spot. Okay, they're all good. Just the
Yeah, it's just
stress.
pistols. That's exactly right. No,
No
stress at the end of the
stress.
day. A bit of a jump scare on a Ray 4C, but everything in order. And now you're one away from your overdrive going into the next round as Nakia, which I will admit, even though the pistol rounds have not gone Alter Ego's way, Nakia getting his ultimates in the third round consistently so far. Like, you remember back on the ISO, right? He had that going into the first round. So, yeah, just really kind of good individual damage management from Nakia. I'll be quite impressed on that.
All right. So good opening start here from the first lot of opening rounds that they've actually found. The whole takes them to map 3 before they do get a pistol in the back pocket. Now it's all about dragging this bonus forward. The double Vandal gotten Nakia. I mean, it's such a strong position now since first gun round being at a, even sort of playing field.
That's it. And you got the change up of utility over at that B site for Nexi as well. Left to his own devices. So very big risk and reward for NAOS if things did tend towards this A site. Now Nexi has to do everything. Hello, Ray.
Flying on in.
Spike down B.
Will at least deny point of 1. However, it
spiked.
is a tough position to overwhelm here. Zaviki does actually manage to get the spot onto Nakia. So careful. They will rotate around. Should be able to find that spike plant now. But as Chud makes his way into vents, he will be able to get a real bit of information. I don't know if they're actually going to clear this Komodo. I think Chud might be able to find more than one here. He gets 2. Awesome start here. Moja does drop Ray 4C, so it's a 3-on-2. Throw that trap. Moja tries to clear, but Chud with 3. Awesome round. Great timing from the Cypher. The lurk up mid. And that's Alter Ego picking up 3 on what still should be considered a split.
I mean, you called it a little bit earlier, right? There was enough of a recipe for a great round for Alter Ego going into this with the weaponry department. And they did lead with their better weaponry as well, right? Getting in those Vandals, the Guardian, the Bulldog in there, not leading those lesser ones to kind of lead by example. So really playing towards the strength in that one, throwing a little bit of chaos in there with the utility as well. And I love the fact that Ray 4C sends himself in, but he doesn't escape the cage. It's all a bait at the end there to make sure his team can also come on through. You never know when he's going to pop back out of that one. So really nicely done in towards the freshie. And once more over, Alter Ego again with another opening kill.
Potential to move forward, though. It drops through bottom of sight. Still not out of main, though. The dark covers are going to keep them at bay. Just allowing them a little bit of extra space to cross there. Chud will punish Jar. Alter Ego side of dark cover to allow them safe passage into heaven. Now Nakia very much on the front foot here. Valden finds Zavi, and realistically, this is just now falling into them one by one. Again, it is just the pistols. It's a single Bucky there for Moja, so you're not going to worry too much about it. But I just want to go out on a quick limb here and say something very Australian, but I've had a spider drop his way onto me, and I've lost him. And you know what? I'm not even scared. That's the Australian me right now. No, I'm definitely not being held ransom by this spider Komodo. Should. Another 3K though. And he's smiling. Look at that face. Loving it.
It's good to see him smile. For reference, guys, Conky a liar. He is very, very scared of creepy crawlies and critters.
Don't tell anyone.
Very, very well done from Alter Ego yet again, though, I will say. Mitigating a lot of damage in there. 3 surviving at the end is always going to be that pass mark, holding on to some of their ultimates too. Valden 1 away from now getting the Seekers online. You can play that in very good combination with the overdrive of Nakia. So, yeah, Alter Ego, I mean, sensational. 4 on the attack side is even, once upon a time, really good on a map like Split. That was
yeah, it was. This was like a good half, right?
Yeah.
Especially before we saw a lot of those more offensive-sided agents bringing in that like more aggressive meta, especially like the Neon and Ray's obviously been around, but the way she's played a little bit different now too.
Some time, double peeking towards mid at the moment, gotten good for one trade, but Savvy, he doubled down on the way into the round for now. Seman needs to be really careful, but he's got to back up over next. He trades around, trades are good, and an oral theft to secure information for the rest of the round.
Yeah, should very much be the first round on the board here, right? Gotten could pick up the orb and get from the shadows, but even if he's successful in finding his way through, there's still a hell of a lot of work to do here. Spike plant would just be, a pass mark. And to actually succeed in the exam, you need to get it all. Look at that timing from Nexi as well. Gets the catch. Doesn't drop down vents, but ultimately before he can pull the dart out, he gets spotted again.
Yeah, not much that Gotten can do really here. 2 players on the side itself. Rotation cordoned off by Jar.
Good use of the cage. A little one-way. Can just walk on through. And doesn't quite connect on the shot there as well. So good round from Moja. Better round from Nexi. I think it was sort of him that really kind of held the charge there. And the opening couple of kills from Zabby too, right? Peeking down from Mail, getting a couple of frags. Good response here from NAOS to get around on the board.
It's good trades from them being in the right position at the right time as well. Except, I guess, you got those trades that are attempted from Alter Ego at the very beginning. But more often than not, NAOS 1 foot in front of the other, holding it true. Are they going to be able to do it again, though? I think that's the important thing, right? Because you're getting into this scary territory where your opponents are building up a lot more ultimates than you are. One away from Viper's Pit and Showstopper, but you got to be a little bit aggressive if you want to try and find them. You're just going to have this little mid-respect at the moment by the back of the Poison Cloud. Snake Spike actually called as an audible as well is really nicely done early on in the piece. You prop the Seekers. You can just go in for a bit of a B-bust. You don't necessarily need to stick away from it. Though this is cheeky from Jar, I will admit. Yeah,
I do like this.
The Seekers will also hold that. Yeah, they'll hold the tight line though, and Jar will see that from that distance. So that's actually really neat. That's very nerdy, by the way.
Hey, that's what one of this game like Valorant can offer. In the end, it's actually going to be Ray 4C finding that opener, so the Seekers do afford themselves some safe passage. Valden's going to be able to find that spike plant now, so it's going to be A-OK. A big rotate to come through now from NAOS.
Yeah, 5 versus 4 with Jar disappearing. Will Nakia use the overdrive to hold this one through? Will Cotton reposition? The flank is cordoned off by Chud. Good fight.
My ult's ready.
Oof. Moja actually able to find that one with the Ray 4C as well. Nexi gets one back, so all of a sudden this one turning on his head. The Showstopper will come out. Moja finding a shot now, all left on. The Valden has to try and clutch out this 1v2. The guiding light is absolute perfection, but now can he play ring around the rosy? It looks like he absolutely will. He doesn't quite clear it. Eman thinks he's going the other way, and it's Sky versus Sky, and a clutch for Alter Ego. They make another solid case there, denying any sort of momentum from NAOS. And 5 are now in the back pocket.
Yeah, I thought it would have been a bit of a spicy retake to come out through from NAOS at the end, but a gorgeous flash from Valden at the end and just a good individual reposition as well. Thought the Showstopper actually might have gone back onto the pillar as well, and then you've already got the focus on the Heaven player going in for the wrap. But, it is what it is. Valorant can be a chaotic beast around the site.
Yeah.
But, Mitch, what have we talked about timeouts so far tonight? What happens after timeouts?
Alter Ego win.
Conversion, right. That's right.
Spot on. I don't know if we'll see anything changing right now. It's a great opportunity for NAOS to not let this one get too far out of their grasp. As we said, it was a very tight game on Pearl, but again, the effort by committee was very much the Alter Ego side of things. So
you got to remember as well,
go.
This timeout here is very important because this is elimination.
Yeah.
Remember? So the loser of this one in a map 3 environment does add a little bit more pressure to this scenario, to this conversation.
Yeah, the mental boom is such a risk in moments like this, right? And when you're down as you are, it can be very, very hard to emotionally stabilize and really sort of force your way forward. So all we can hope is that NAOS have still got a game plan. And as they buy only very, very gently in, Alter Ego again look to continue their streak.
Will we see some haste, though, come out from Alter Ego in this round, setting up with all 5 members over at the A side. Overdrive to be popped, potentially. Ray 4C with the satchels to go in. You know he might be hungry. A tapping of the cage, though. I actually love that from Eman. That throws a little spanner in the works and would stop a team from aggressing if you hear that someone is close.
Guiding Light gets a whole lot of info there as well. This definitely stops Alter Ego in their tracks for a second, but now it's Nakia looking to force his way forward. Ray 4C into the vents. Nakia, though, punished by Eman, so still in it to win it. That was the spike dropped. It can be recovered, but Eman finds another very big round so far from the sky, because now they've all managed to collapse around. The position from Ja is good. Moja does drop another. So it's all happening for NAOS here. Not a round that Alter Ego should be losing. Valden gets one back. Make it a second. Still on with a chance. Eman, who had those opening couple of frags, is now punished, but there's a Phantom and a Bulldog in play for NAOS. Moja's got a long way to come on in, though.
Do you use the boombot to try and get some information? Do you reveal your position at this point as Ray 4C? The reposition,
no,
he looks the wrong way. That is a vulnerable position that he's just overlooked.
Valden already getting 2 in the round, too, so he has to try and clutch this one out, the 1v2. Ja just very much holding that line. Dark cover goes in to at least just try to buy some further information. The cross in from screens. He just has to try and play these 1v1s, and now the information gathered, already clearing around the corner. They have to double up on it, and I think a little bit of lack of proactivity from Valden there kind of gave himself up the goat in the clutch there. Didn't try to find the 1v1s and allowed NAOS to come in and secure the round.
I don't even think that's Valden at the end there, to be honest with you. I think that's Ray 4C kind of just overlooking positions and being a little bit scared at that point in time. And I use that word very rarely, but that just feels like he's questioning his own positions. He's got a Roomba. He's repositioned in the open, because you're susceptible to main, heaven, and screens with where he's playing in the open there, and he overlooks a position over at like the ramp, bottom of a ramp as well. It just feels like there's a lot going through his head at that point in time. He's a little bit lost.
For sure. You know, gets the opener, but then leaves his teammate in a clutchable situation. It's just not what you want to sort of see, but that's okay. It does happen. Mistakes were made. Now there's going to be no holds barred here. They are straight in towards the A site. The rocket will come out, doesn't connect. Eman doesn't miss the shot, though. Valden, Nakia, Chud, gotten all getting frags here, as Moja is wondering what the hell has happened in the round and has to try and clutch out the 1v4. And I don't really know if there's going to be an opportunity for him here, but we'll give him some space. We'll give him some time. Now does creep through. The paint shells gives away his position, and I think this is where he starts to call the audible and just get out of there, because saving this Vandal into the next round, Jar's still got money. Eman will be able to buy, so this save Vandal means another round and another go for NAOS as Alter Ego pick up 6 here.
Getting the vibes of what NAOS were doing over on that map Sunset just a bit ago, right? Finding very good successive rounds over on the side on that first half, and it just so happens to be that attacker side as well, right? So a good emulation here from Alter Ego, figuring out what works, from changing pace, fast and slow, doing a little bit of difference around this toxic screen. I've actually really liked the different approaches that Alter Ego have done when Xavi's wall is up, when it's down, pushing into him, knowing that he's playing around these mid vents, around in the bottom of ropes as well, just isolating him and then acting back up towards the side from there. It's really good adjustments coming through from Alter Ego and changing it up. You know, it's not like they're doing the same thing over and over again because it's just completely working. Now it's trying to change things up, but it's just very unsuccessful.
It'd be so painful for NAOS if we lean into that narrative of what we stated, right? If you let Alter Ego get too many rounds on Sunset, too much snowball impact, you know, they can start off really hot, and that's exactly what we've seen here on this attacker side for Alter Ego.
Yeah, and it's a good bit of initiative this time to go for an early peeking challenge as Moja. You want to secure some information. You know, we have seen Eman throw in a guarding light over a garage a little bit here and there to try and get something, but confirming it with a body this time and actually forcing your opponents back, forcing them to challenge where you may have a trap laying in mid or wherever it be, that's a little bit better from NAOS here.
I've got your trail.
Second run of the ultimate there. The Seekers come out, and it's going to be Xavi that actually takes advantage, finding that opening pick here. So Ray 4C already looking to go down. That's actually pulled the trigger on this potential B-sided offense as well. Alter Ego not interested in it anymore.
I wouldn't be surprised if Chud is finding the opening pick over to this A site to get in, and then allow Gotham to go for the TP into the site itself. So the frag over at A main that's about to happen is so crucial.
30 seconds left.
They've run into water that he can't technically TP into the site anymore, but he will be beating Moja to the punch.
Oh, this is awkward. Because Moja has the line. He completely got him through the toxic screen there. Valden does get the trade, sure, but I think staying alive here from Xavi might actually be able to find him the additional impact that's traded out. Nakia finds another frag back, but there's 12 seconds left,
10
Komodo.
seconds
He's
left.
on the side. I don't know if Chud is going to be looking onto this position of Nexi, but he
player
does
standing.
connect, does get the info. Nexi finds one back. It's been trade after trade after trade. And in this 1v1 situation, Nakia on the Neon, Nexi on the Cypher. And look at that, he just peaks dry. Full confidence, and that's exactly what you need from your duelist to try and carry this impact forward.
Yeah.
7-2.
Okay,
Oh,
so
NAOS have got to be hurting there.
what I'm recognizing in this series at the moment, this is free analysis for Alter Ego. You ready?
Okay, give it to me.
Nakia stays on duelist. Don't put him on Sova.
Gotta go.
That'll be $100. Thank you.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Nah, Alter Ego doing really well when Nakia's confidence is actually allowing him to frag, and he's not the one that is falling back a little bit to set up his team, right? He's flourishing when he can spread his wings, do it himself.
Yeah, for sure, and that's exactly what we saw on Pearl, as you mentioned, right? You know, you've got that confidence, just utilizing the advantage of the double duelist. Oop.
One day.
That wall didn't go where they wanted it. What a
Oh
little
my
spot from
God.
Nexi.
Play pigeon. Nexi's hit 2 now. He does get him towards position. He does connect on the shot, so at least he's made work of Nexi. But now as his spike goes down, 2-on-2.
Spike
Sheriffs
planted.
only. Yeah, exactly. Ultimate available.
It's got to be so tantalizing to rip them so you get confirmed information, and they will indeed.
Found
How much
one.
do you want to give away? I mean, look, that's the info given straight away, and he does have that line. Narrowly hits the
Oh,
shot.
the
I think that
nade.
actually
Last
tagged him through
player
the floor.
standing.
Paint Shells now makes it awkward. Does connect onto it now. Chud in the clutch. Has to try and isolate the duels, as we know. But he's watching the line. The Boombot's going to make it so awkward. It goes the other way, and now they line up, and they're going to be able to find it. Somehow, some way, Now's find these rounds where they just should not be finding them. But now it's about trying to put the
Thrifty.
pieces back together. That was an eco. That was a swing round. That was a
Make it
alter
easier
ego,
for ya.
putting a bit more of a case of closing out this series. But it's an elimination, and everyone's going to be fighting hard all the way to the final punch.
Yeah, it's felt like so far that the spaghetti is on the floor for now, but finally they just realize they can pick it up and shove it back into the pockets in a round such as this. Will they be able to dish it back up and make it taste good? I don't know. We got a couple more rounds in the half for them to see if they can do that. They've got a couple of pivotal pieces as well to that one, right? Viper's Pit's available and Neural Theft 2. One away from the showstopper for Moja, so if you can get a bit of a recovery here against this little eco round as well, you could actually fashion a 7-5.
Cage triggered.
Definitely could. Just crazy to think about the damage that's been done, right? To think that even Alter Ego after that string of rounds would be on pistols is kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Do you expect Jar to be playing up here? I mean, you're not really going to be able to hard clear it when the camera's first.
Gotta be so careful. Eman caught on an absolute
I
island,
know
but Moja
exactly
gets
where
2.
you
It's quickly traded, and all of a sudden we've got another round on our hands where they're saying yee haw instead of haw yee. Sheriff's out. Now established plant. Spike goes down 3-3. Very forward position here from Gotten.
Yeah, he's got a paranoia as well if he wants to buy a little bit of extra time on the back of that guiding light, but he will play with the gun.
Timing. Gonna be everything, isn't it here, Komodo? He does get it. Can he swing on to another? Timing's good for Xavi, though. Able to get that one back. And now Chud trying to get in towards position in heaven. He finds the fight, and now Xavi left all alone. Not going to be able to do anything with that Viper's Pit here as the time is ticking. And I don't know if he's actually called it. He's running so
He has
short.
no idea where they are.
That's it. No info. And Chud gets the info straight off the back of it. So that's the round done. Unfortunately, poor Xavi has to just moonwalk his way out of there. They're not even going to be worried. Now he'll be able to pick up a Vandal. If he can get the damage on the exit, that's awesome. He goes down. But yeah, that means that NAOS have got basically only
Last
parts
round
into this
before the
final round. The
switch.
money's there, sure, but it's not perfect. And we're looking down the barrel of another potential 9-3
Yeah.
half here, but this time in favor of Alter Ego.
Anything you can do, I can do better moment, isn't it? When you got all those trades coming in from Alter Ego around that A site. The Neural Theft, I think, was securing what they needed to do. You know, getting that information, taking the deeper space in towards the screens. You pretty much lost it in
This is a nice spot.
as Alter Ego at that point in time. So this is the flip side of what I was talking about, right? You now do have those ultimates for NAOS to be able to rely upon in a round such as this. You do see Viper's Pits generally dropping towards mid. I'm never a big fan of that. More of a fan over towards A, where you kind of force them in towards where your Cypher tripwires are, and you force them in towards the entrapment that is going to be this B site. The only deficit being is I see the agent lineup for Alter Ego here, where you generally will be expecting, you know, a Viper to be playing solo in a pit like this one in A main. You got Nakia with speed, you got Ray4C with boot, like satchels to boom through. You've got Valden, who technically has used the Trailblazer, but could flash in as well, right? He's got so this is 100% a good idea from Alter Ego to challenge Zavy in the pit.
Oh my god, and look at the damage that they've already done, right? Ray4C makes his way through, but Moja will punish Zavy, somehow still living on, and Gotten will be able to find Moja, but obviously that Viper's still up, still putting up that decay. Great shot in the second end from Gotten there. But now it's Chud, Valden. They will be able to recover some HP. Holding fast. Still an awkward line for now, so they don't know exactly where they're going to go for this here. Zavy, if he peeks, if he gets found, that's going to get really awkward. But the Viper's Pit does allow some additional solace. Valden has managed to slip the wickets, and he actually does try to push through here. Zavy, 41 points of HP. Valden maybe in a powerful position here, but Zavy, massive round from him. Komodo, I don't know if this is going to be enough for NAOS to... Well, not potentially. Final half potentially for one of these competitors, as we will see an elimination as this one comes to an end. Alter Ego still leading the charge. A little resurgence towards the end there, Komodo.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen NAOS kind of not play this map before. Is this the case that they don't have as many reps to feel confident on it just yet? You get out of dodge.
Cover going out.
That's nicely done from them, at least to adjust, but you do lose a lot of that space. You've got no real forward position over at this A site where the camera will spot your tootsies coming on out.
Cage trick found you.
Love a little bit of orb control in the morning.
Here.
Forcing that one through. Chud does get the spot, the opposing, but Zavy is going to just sort of clear around a little bit here, fighting in the poison cloud, but I have a feeling it's going to be quite the duel here, Komodo, as Ray4C diving straight on in, gets one, but Nakia, free weapon, 2, like, still ticking, but it's just the 2 members, Moja, Jar, Paranoia comes through that dark cover, just still allowing Nakia some additional space to creep forward, but a tap on from Valden, Nakia with 3, and now it's all on to Jar. 1 versus 3, does get the... Keep on ticking, keep burning that time, and a second dink comes through, but unfortunately for Jar, the head armor will be his enemy. As Alter Ego, they find a second pistol in this map, second for the series, and a 9th round, closing the gap towards victory.
I understand that smoke from Jar, but I also think it's kind of silly if your plan is to use a Paranoia into the site. You want that position open for your teammate to be able to find the kill when they're blinded, right? Don't refresh the smoke. Get your teammate to call the audible when it starts to fade. Throw the Paranoia. If anyone's lurking in the smoke, then they're blind, and then you get the kill. I think that was a little bit of a mistake from NAOS. Both pistols quite successful for Alter Ego on this map, Mitch, and that is certainly bringing a multitude of a lead here for him too.
Yeah, absolutely. Really
And
been a credit.
No force up of the plant for the attacking side. I feel like the depth of the half you kind of should have, maybe. You gotta get back into this map, you know.
We'll have a with Alter Ego finding 10 here. Nice one from Nakia through that dark cover. Doesn't even need the outlaw. He's gonna have to connect onto another. That's a 3rd and a 4th. A quick scope. Beautiful stuff there from Nakia. Again, he's just so sharp, right? You know, we're talking about this impact that we saw. And the irony being the only round that they swap off the double duelist, the only map, they lose. So I think Alter Ego need to lean into their Paper X W Gaming style. Because it's working out for them in you know, total pride. So
yeah, I think it was a really good pickup from that Elevate roster, to be completely honest with you as well. You know, we did see a little bit of that shift where we've got Redrift Arena and Elevate being picked apart a little bit at the end of the Malaysia-Singapore split. So really good pickup as he is trying to showcase us some more goods, although this time a little bit over eager.
It's the Alter in Ego as it's punished out. So bonus slows down just a slight bit. Still the judge for Ray4C, still the Bulldog, forgotten. So it's not done just yet. A little bit of damage chipped onto Moja, making him a bit more supple.
Over here.
But that regrowth will help him out.
Yeah. Player advantage is important for NAOS here as well. In not forcing up in the last round, they have to convert this bonus round pretty convincingly in my mind. So getting that first kill where your opponent gets a little bit over ego, and then you act accordingly by a regroup, starting to pass together a bit of information around the map. Mid, of course, not where you can plant the spike, but if you can draw enough attention away, maybe you can give an opportunity for the lurk to get on up, which is what Nexi is trying to do.
If you could find some timing here,
30
I
seconds
like this
left.
control that has been found, but not taking advantage of it any further. Does try to push the narrative now, and we'll get a lot of information that that rotation is here, but it is going to be a late one, bit of a flank. They're just going to have to rely on some frags here to be found for Alter Ego, because Komodo, 14 seconds, right? Should still alive somehow. He should be overpowered, and he will, but that would have been a little bit of a risky play. Gotten a demise, so that's a very solid round here for NAOS. Still in it to win it. The bonus doesn't go the way of Alter Ego, but now it's a full buy to come through, and hey, that Neon operator, we've seen how good it can be, but how well will it work on split here?
Yeah, well, he held W with the overdrive, so this time that operator should hopefully keep him a little bit more in his own lane.
I hope
Not
it's
every
fast.
day that you do see it. We didn't even get to see an operator on the side for NAOS whatsoever, so it's good to see that the idea is being toyed with here for Alter Ego to keep it guessing, because when would you expect an operator to be, purchased up? Would you expect your opponents to be getting it into the 4th round when the Neons just tried to absolutely hold it into you? Probably not.
Toxin screen down.
A little bit more of a patient start here from NAOS. Just leaving the team to kind of split it up a bit more. Gotten actually burning that paranoia very early, not for a whole lot, just to keep himself alive.
Yeah, that's Poison Cloud. Actually, the Zavi's thrown as well. Missed, unfortunately, but it's disrespectful.
Wow. Middle of the play, too. That guiding light was utilized to try and force the narrative in towards main, but he walks away with 2 somehow, as Ray 4C surely not going to be going down here as well. The first gun round for Alter Ego is looking absolutely damaging. Now, Eman.
Gotten has come alive.
Yeah, exactly. He's just got to try and find this round. The guiding light will get his info. And now they just need to swing together. Chud's just going to wait for contact to be made. And I think Gotten might actually find another. He's already looking pretty good. It's going to be a good guiding light. But when there's 4 members taking point, Alter Ego only now 2 rounds away from knocking the Philippines out of this competition.
Yeah, you really need to deliver something special here if you are NAOS at the moment, and I think that pistol round was really needed for them. The second as well. I mean, just 4 rounds that have essentially been gathered for Alter Ego in their pathing to get towards number 12 at this current point in time, right? Because you flip it on over, and if it is just the 4-4, right, we're talking 9 rounds for NAOS, and we're talking 7 rounds, and we still got a pretty competitive game then at that point in time, right? Now it feels like it's getting a little bit deep, and NAOS have to sit and have a really big discussion. I'm looking at these cameras for the boys, and honestly, they look deflated.
Yeah, and I was going to say, right, what a risk for NAOS. When they know that Alter Ego have converted almost every single one of these post-pause rounds, right? So, yeah. Alter Ego only 2 rounds away, as I said, from closing this series. And yeah, as I said, knocking a region out of this competition. Final 4 players, final 4 teams, rather. Yeah, with a whole lot of work to do. And as you mentioned, I think just the way that NAOS are looking on cams right now, they seem a bit flat. They seem a bit worried. They're trying to take it all in. But there's the pump up. There's the, come on, guys, let's go. Let's close this one strong. Because this is their opportunity to do it now. They've got this buy round in tow. But then after that, it's just struggle street for the rest. So they need to get moving now.
Yeah, 100%. And they need to kind of do it flawlessly as well. Because if you give Alter Ego the opportunity to have round number 12 on the board, well, you know, you can't make any mistakes, ain't it? It didn't really work out last time because we saw exactly what that provided NAOS. A single mistake for Alter Ego, it was not done. Cam ended up on split.
Trailblazer caught. Will make his way into vents, but no info spotted. Moja obviously following suit.
Yeah, it's cheeky. I like this one as well. The gap in the trap wire when the Trailblazer goes through and no secured information for Alter Ego. Ray needs to be very careful in thinking that this isn't dirty territory. Destruction of that Trailblazer as well should give him the idea. I love that. The fact that the Trailblazer gets destroyed, that gives you an idea that someone did get past.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to protect
Great
him.
clear. Super aware from Ray 4C there. dotting his I's, crossing his T's. And now Nakia just continuing to hold suit here. We do have that forward positioning from Gotten. So with this offense about to come in, they pop the cyber cage to walk across, but that's only going to last for a little tiny split here as now Gotten finds one, shoulder clears as well, uses a shrouded step to get himself some safe passage, but Xavi's got to be so careful. Those paint shells are forced him back. Now they try to put down the pedal to the metal, 4 to the floor, but Gotten, he can hold the trigger, and that is at one further nail into the coffin here for NAOS. They've got to be absolutely reeling here. They have got no more opportunities. They're going to have no more money. And unfortunately, with 4 alive, Alter Ego are probably already starting to cash their checks for third place and looking to see who will join them in the lower. One final chance for NAOS.
I mean, it's the nail in the coffin, but it's also an empty coffer, isn't it? So really unfortunate for NAOS, and it's exactly what I was just highlighting. The pistols, the round conversions, the timeout conversions for Alter Ego. You did not want to see, as a NAOS player fan, anyone on their side in this series, this map get to number 12 for Alter Ego. If it wasn't already, you know, an 11-10 at that point, or a 9 before 12 was met, you know, it is stark scoreline difference at the moment that there's so much room to breathe for Alter Ego. Now you're playing with a bit of straps as well, some shotguns, a bulldog. Gotten at least overwhelmed.
Yeah. It's a great start to the round. Nakia just trying to stay as composed as possible here. Look at the defensive sort of positions that they've got, right? Just watching that heaven walk. They do start to clear into Mail now. And I like this as well, the proactivity to actually take main control. The Seekers come out. That might catch, and Valden's tossing up. Do I go back to site? Do I let this happen? It's really awkward now.
You can still see how paranoid NAOS are at the moment, though. You don't want to go in towards that A site when you've drawn rotations.
Oh.
It's funny, because you'll get the information off the Cypher camera, and you've still got a couple of these trap layers around the site where they might not expect 2 players to come in from the garage, so I'm seeing Xavi AK path this correctly.
Yeah.
He spotted 1, so they'll be aware.
Great bit of info. Just keeping that one member to watch towards Ramen's actually huge there, because this is now going to be one of the most awkward retake attempts I've actually seen. In Alter Ego are kind of everywhere, but nowhere at the exact same time. Ray 4C having to clear out mid, does get the spot, does get the info. They'll make quick work of Pesky, Xavi, and now that does give them a level of confidence to start to fight into this Komodo. A Judge, a Bucky, a Bulldog. Is it going to be enough for NAOS? A Xavi, Valden. Connecting here. Emma has to do everything here, and he will lock in, but he doesn't only get one. It'll be enough for Moja to continue to hold. The operator secured, and NAOS, they cling to dear life here on split. 6 rounds to even consider an overtime.
Gets close at the end there, though, doesn't it? Hey, the fact that Valden was able to find 2, that second one on an X, he was gorgeous. But then Eman, I mean, luckily enough, able to double down for his own as well to keep it just into that 1-1 trade at the end for his teammates. So NAOS will hold on at the moment, but only by the skin of their teeth. It also feels like a couple of light shields still in play, some lesser weaponry as well, and now you've got a couple of ultimate abilities online for Alter Ego.
Oh, here we go.
Want to potentially use.
Moja's actually missed that one too. Yeah, that's really rough. Valden making quick work of 3, and that may very well be the final step for NAOS. They try to force their way in towards this B site, Komodo. This is their final moment, their final opportunity. Ja, Xavi, both have had impact in this series, and now as that toxic screen drops, they have to be so damn careful. Shrouded step to come through, but Gotten takes it. All eyes on Ja, and now I think it's just going to be that brutality. He will find one, but he's tapped up, and Nakia isn't going to let it happen. And there it is.